Hi, hello. I've got my coffee. I'm waiting for somebody to come in and for me to say hello to them. Let's see who is the first one in today. Let's see. Cheers, everybody, anyway. Well, I've got a thumbs up even though there's nobody in the room. Thank you very much for my thumbs up. I do appreciate it. Hello, Laurie. Hi from California. This is Jan in Fleetwood. And for once, it's not raining. So how are you doing? You have the honour of being the first one in my live tonight. It's usually Nathan or maybe Chris, but it won't be Chris tonight. So, and how are you? I bet you don't have the fire on, do you? I bet you've not got your fire lit. I bet you're lovely and warm in California. Oh, thank you so much. Yeah. Not often people tell me that they watch me, so it's nice when people do. I know my regulars come in all the time, so I know them. But it's lovely when somebody else pops in and says, I love watching you. It's very nice. Thank you very much. Hi, Jane. Hi, Muchkin. So, I've been having a bit of a week of it, but I'll tell you all when there's more people in. Not been my week, let's just say. So I'm hoping you're all going to cheer me up tonight. Hi, Tinkerbell. You always remind me of our little doggy because she's called Trixabelle. Hi, June. Yeah. Hi, Lizzie. Oh, you're changing your name. Are you trying to confuse me, Lizzie? Well, we may not have Chris in tonight because I got a message from him that he's moving. So if he hasn't got internet, he won't be in on tonight. So he'll be missed. I'm just trying to remember which crochet hook I used. I'm crocheting Barbie or Cindy dolls, yeah. You were hoping for a bit of chit. Oh, God, I'm not in the best of mood. I've had a week of it, Jane, a real week of it. So I'm not exactly Little Miss Sunshine tonight. So I was hoping you were all going to cheer me up. So please don't let me down. I need some happy people, I need. I've been that cold today, I've had to get my son to light the fire. Lighting the fire, September. Oh, yesterday was my mummy's birthday. She would have been 113. Is your other profile? Boy morning ham. Oh, that's a strange profile, if you don't mind me saying so, Lizzie. Where did you get that one from? I know mine's a weird one, but still. Oh, that coffee's lovely and hot. Yeah, I'm crocheting Barbie's sleeve, if you want to know what I'm crocheting. Oh, dear. The things I do. We're having a craft fair in November. And I thought, as I can't sell any of my garments, then I would try doing small things. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. How am I doing today? Not very well, yeah. It hasn't been raining. Well, it has been raining a bit, but we've got a new driveway now. It's almost finished. So we don't have a duck pond anymore, which is nice. We don't need to paddle anymore going to the cars, yeah. So that's been nice. That's why there's been no videos from me all week, because we've had cement mixers, we've had cement trucks. They've been cutting bricks with the, great big grinder thing that's been going, and then they've had the radio on really loud. It's been funny one time because they all started dancing, all the young ones that were doing the drive. So by the time I got my camera out, they'd actually stopped, so I was a bit sad, really, because they were all in a line doing like a line dance to this particular song that came on the radio. Oh, dear. He's showing Brandy family photographs. You're missing his dad. Oh dear. Yeah, I know. One of my friends, well, my son's friends, they've just lost their cat today. 14. It wasn't very well, but it's still sad when you lose your cat, isn't it? It was one of those great big Maine Coon cats as well. It wasn't just a little ordinary moggy. Yeah, well, I've been a bit peed off this week. First of all, I went to see my diabetic nurse and I got greeted with, well, your levels are bad, aren't they? I thought, well, let me come in and take my coat off, please. And then she said, and you've put on piles of weight. 4 pounds I've put on. And that was purely because I hadn't got them, them jabs we're supposed to have that keep your weight controlled. So she said, you're going on insulin. She said, your levels are rubbish and all this jazz. So anyway, I had to take my levels. And this morning, my level was 6.5. My daughter-in-law, who was a nurse, said, no, you don't need to take insulin for 6.5. She said, you'll be going into a hypo the other way. She said, that level is, quite low, 6.5. She said, you don't take any insulin, not for 6.5. And then I went to the dentist. And as you know, I had a fill-in with that dentist that I didn't like and I complained about her. There is a hole in that tooth that she filled. I went to the dentist. They said it's £89 to see him because it's classed as an emergency appointment. I said, why? I made it over a week ago. They said, no, it's classed as an emergency appointment because it's not your regular scheduled appointment. I goes in. He admitted it was a hole in the tooth that she had filled. And he said, you need a root canal fill-in. I said, and how much were you going to pay for that? He said, £550. I said, don't bother. I said, just take the tooth out. Oh, I can't take your tooth out because you've got an infection in it. So he gives me a prescription, which he didn't tell me was a private prescription, and I had to pay £9.90 to get these drinking antibiotics. So I'm absolutely peed off this week. I was so peed off, I was in tears in the hospital, not the hospital, the doctor's waiting room. So the receptionist made me go and see a doctor. And he said, if that nurse had spoken to my mother the way she spoke to you, he said, I would have been in there. He said, tell them you don't want to see her anymore and you're not seeing her. He said, and I'll do repeats of all your blood tests. He said, and if your HB1C is fine, he said, don't bother taking the insulin. So when I told her, I said, I can't prick my finger ends because I've got Raynaud's. And she goes, rubbish, anybody can prick their finger ends. So just to check my blood, I had to get the pharmacy to prick my fingers, and they were trying to get some blood out the end of my finger. And I'm going, that's what it's like. I said, it's just like that. And when I was telling the doctor, he said, no. I said, oh, can I have one of them things on my arm then if you're going to give me this? She said, no. She said, that's only for people who have more than one injection a day. I goes down to Knit Club and I spoke to the people who've got diabetes because I'm new to all this sort of stuff. And I said, I can't have one of these. She said, why not? We only inject once a day. And we have one. We've got one of them things that sticks on your arm. I said, I can't prick my finger ends. I said, I need them for crafting. God, she stabbed my finger that hard. I had a purple bruise for 3 days. So yes, Jane, I was in tears. I was crying all over the GP surgery. I must have looked so bad because the receptionist who normally, she's a bit of a dragon normally, she said, I want you to stay. Please stay. I need you to see a doctor right now. And he's going, do you feel suicidal? I went, no, I don't feel suicidal. I said, but I'm absolutely peed off. Absolutely had enough this week. So that's why I'm not chirpy, cheap today. So I was hoping you'd all cheer me up. Sorry, Jane, if you're feeling depressed, but I'm not exactly feeling in the mood for being chirpy, chirpy, cheep, cheep tonight. Yeah, I've got a tooth. I'll have to take 2 more pills while I'm on here. So, sweeties and chocolates are out at the moment. I'm determined to prove her wrong. Yeah, determined to prove her wrong. That she's saying I'm not controlling my diabetes. I'm like Yaboo knickers. So in the meantime, I'm crocheting Barbie clothes. Sorry, she's naked. I'll cover her bum up. She's naked. I'll cover her boobies up. She's naked. I'm making clothes. I don't know whether she's not a real Barbie, as you can tell by her face, but she's the right size, so I'm using her as a mannequin. I've been making all sorts of little things. So that's what I've been doing. Yeah, sorry, Jane, if I can't cheer you up, love, because I'm not in that kind of mood. Oh, dear. Somebody else cheer Jane up. Somebody else who's feeling chirpy, chirpy, cheep, cheep. As I said before, the drive's nearly finished, so I might be able to make videos next week. But we're discussing, I'm going to, well, not me, I can't do it, but we're going to change all this room round. I'm going to be over there, and the settee and sofa's going to be over here, because this is the coldest place in the house, right next to the window, and it's cold. And I don't fancy another winter being freezing. So I'm moving the big sofa that's, I don't know if you can see the sofa. Yeah, you can just about. Moving that big sofa under the window. Because only guests sit on it, so it's not as if I'm going to freeze anybody to death, is it? So, oh, and the doggy sits on it, so, you know. So we're having a swap round. And my bookcase is getting moved. I didn't like that bookcase anyway, because it sags in the middle. I don't know whether you can see it or not. It's a very cheap one, and it sags in the middle. The books are in danger of all falling on the floor, because it's one of those cheap things, IKEA rubbish, you know. IKEA, whatever it's called. So I'm going to go to the second-hand shop, you know, the used furniture, see if I can get a proper wooden bookcase, you know, that's not made of chipboard like the modern ones are. I would love to get proper units, but they won't fit. I'm moving these units. Well, I'm not doing it, my son is. Woo, you can't see them. No, you can't see them. The units I've got there, you can see them just a bit. Well, they sit behind me when I make a video, so that gives you any clue. Those units are going on the other side, over by the door. Yeah. Your sofa's, yeah, my sofa belongs to Rosie, and occasionally, sorry to make you dizzy, it's Rosie's sofa, really. She's the only one who really sits on it. So we're having to move the telly. The telly will be going above where the elephants are. Woo. Oh, God, I'm making you all dizzy. Where the elephants are there, that's where the TV is going to go, above the fireplace. So I'll be swapping around. I'll be all over the place. Yeah. It'll be Janet from a different location. But at least Janet will be warm this winter. But the driveway does look lovely. I will take more photos. I did put one photo on Facebook, but it wasn't actually finished when I put that on. And it's not actually finished just yet. It needs some more sand and something else doing to it. But it was lovely because it rained this afternoon and we didn't have a duck pond. We didn't have any rain. So that was nice, wasn't it? So I hope you're all keeping well. You're all being very quiet, considering there's 31 people in. And I've only got 8 thumbs up, so please. Thummies, please, please, please. I don't beg for much. Don't beg for money. Although I could do it after that dentist. But I don't. So I just beg for thumbs up. That's all. All I want from you. That's all I require. I don't require any Any money for my time. Just a few thumbs up would be nice, yeah. Oh, the cold won't hurt me, but it's plumbing. You know, with having my hands are freezing all the time, and I just keep going colder and colder. And the wind, I don't know. My son said it's air bricks or something at the front. He's going to have a go at blocking them up. But it's coming through where I'm sitting here. It's coming through where the plug socket is, because the plug socket's set into the cavity. And apparently the wind is in the cavity. So that is why it's cold in my corner. I sit here on the computer sometimes and my legs go like ice. And yet if I move and go and sit in another chair, it's fine. I'm not cold anymore. So I'll be happy when they're cold. Yeah. So this time next week, I will be in a new location. I will be over the other side of the room. That's all being well we don't mess up the internet. Yeah. As I said before, Chris has messaged me and said he's moving house. So he may not be on the internet. It depends on whether he can get the internet up and running. I don't quite know when he's moving. He said in the next 2 weeks. So, yeah. Hi, Judy. How Judy? Let's all give a wave. I know I can't see you, but just give me a wave anyway. Just so I know you're there. Wavy, 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 wavy. Everybody say hi to each other. It's a party. Be sociable. Go round the room and introduce yourself and say hello. That's what you do at a real party, isn't it? You all go around saying, hello, I'm such a body. How are you? Yeah. Because I don't think you all know each other. Oh, thank you, Munchkin. If you don't all know each other, it's time to get to know each other. Because I don't know a lot of your history, so I can't really go round the room and introduce you, can I? You know. Evening, Connie. Good evening. And good evening, Munchkin. Hi, Joanne. Oh, Jeannie, sorry. It's the eyeballs. Can't read. Hi, Jeannie. Yeah, say hello to each other. Be nice and sociable. Try and cheer me up. Because I say I'm not exactly feeling tickety-boo. Yeah. Oh, dear. The doctor was very nice, but sadly, it was his last day. What have you missed? You've missed me talking about my teeth and me diabetes, yeah. Taylor woe it's been. So you're lucky you've missed it, really, Connie. Oh, dear. So I'm waiting to see what the blood results will be. Apparently, he was lovely, the doctor, and he was retiring that day. Well, yeah, I know what it is. I've had a headache. They say it's something to do with my eyes. My eyes are not functioning to my brain because of the blurriness and, whatever. And that's what's giving me a constant headache. So not fun, is it? It's not splitting, I will say that. It's just a dull headache, but it's there all the time. A bit like that sort of hangover that lingers on to the day after, if I can remember that far back, because I don't drink now. Well, very rare. Only coffee today and no treats today. No, I haven't had. I've had my eyes tested and I've got to have my eyes lasered because there's gunk or something, particles, as she said, or debris growing on my new lenses. So that's why I can't see. Because the evil diabetes nurse said, that's your diabetes. I said, no, it's not, because that's what I did ask the optician. And she said it was nothing to do with my diabetes. It was the fact that debris had grown behind my contact lenses. So obviously she knows nothing. So I've told the GP practice, on the advice of my GP, that I don't want to see her anymore. I'll see another nurse. The other two nurses that I've seen have been absolutely lovely. I think she had it on her when I got through the door. Either that or it was a clash of personalities. Yeah, telling me I put on loads of weight. I get on the scales every time I have a shower. before I get in the shower, when I'm in the nuddy, I stand on the scales to see. And if I put on a pound or two, then I watch what I eat. You know, because I do, my showers first thing in the morning, you see. So if my weight's crept up by a pound or two, then I, pull myself back. Don't have any treats and don't have anything for that day. So I know I haven't put loads of weight on. I've put 4 pounds on, which is not exactly the end of the world, is it? The way she was talking, you thought I'd put, I was like on my £600 life, the way she was speaking to me. No, she just had it on her, Jane, when I walked through the door. She greeted with me with, well, your blood sugar levels are rubbish, what you doing, she said. And then she goes, haven't you put on loads of weight? I hadn't even got my coat off. I thought, oh, we're on one here. She says, you're going on insulin. I went, no, I'm not. She went, yes, you are. And then I said, well, I can't stab my fingers because of my Raynaud. Boom, she stabbed my finger. She nearly stabbed it right through to the other side. She goes, there you are. You've got blood. I thought, you... She rubbed me up the wrong way. She really did. I don't often fall out with people. I'm quite an affable Amy, but I tend to see the inside and not say anything at the time, but I should have answered it back. I should have been really giving her hostility, but instead of which she just upset me because I kept it in, so it came out as tears then, because I was just so shaking with anger with her. And that's the way I sort of cope, is I get angry with people, but instead of telling them to their face that I'm angry with them, I tend to keep it inside me and start to shake, and then it all comes out as tears or whatever, or, I mean, the doctor was lovely. He goes, do you need to talk to somebody in the mental health department? I went, no, I just need to strangle them. Diabetes mess. I'm not suicidal. I said, I'm just with her. He did say, if she'd have talked to my mother like that, he said, I would have been straight in there. I thought, well, get straight in there and tell her. Except it was his last day and she wasn't in that day. But I'm sure he should have put a report in and say, he says, you have a right to not see anybody that upsets you that much. I thought, right, okay, I shall exercise my right. Right, does my sleeve? I like making these little things, yeah. Yeah, well, I'm the same. I just sort of bite things back and think of my retorts later. I think we're all guilty of that, yeah. We're all guilty of thinking, I should have said that. Should have said that at the time. Well, I did let fly at the dentist. He got the rough end of my tongue. I went, do you all drive Lamborghinis? I said, I bet you live in £1 million houses in this dental practice. I said, the prices you're charging. I said, do you know I'm nearly 78? I said, and I'm only on a pension. I said, where do you think I've got £550 from? He's just like looking at me. He's only young. I said, I know it's not your fault there's no NHS. I said, but, it shakes the shilling. I said, that we pay in all our lives to get sort of treatment for free, and then we can't get it anymore. There's no NHS dentist anywhere these days. Just total rubbish. I never had this problem in Prestwich. I wasn't NHS in Prestwich, but at least the prices weren't like they are here. They must think we're rich. In a few years' time, only the rich will have teeth. Do you know that? The poor will all be gummy and toothless. Or they'll pull their own teeth out with a pair of pliers. I was telling my story to the lady in the pharmacy, and she said they had a girl in at Christmas who'd pulled all her teeth out by herself because she couldn't afford to go to the dentist. She pulled every one of her teeth out on her own, pulled them all out. I couldn't do that. Fleetwood, yeah, it's a very deprived area, Fleetwood. Most people are retired, but they don't have money. It's not that kind of place, I don't think. A lot of the people who were born and bred in Fleetwood are quite poor because there's no employment. There's just nothing. There's more, dropouts and people on benefits here than anywhere else I've ever known. I didn't realise that before I moved here. That's probably why I can't sell anything at craft fairs, because nobody's got any money. I've got another craft fair, but I'm not taking any clothes with me. I don't know what I'm going to do with the rest of the things I've crocheted. I don't know. I will have to think of a way. So I'm on doll's clothes at the moment. Why did that's a good point. I didn't choose it. No, I didn't choose Fleetwood. I moved with my son and my daughter-in-law, and they chose Fleetwood. And had I known what it was like, I would have put my foot down and said, no, I'm not coming. Because it's just not what I'm used to. I know it sounds snobby, but it isn't what I'm used to. Yeah. So maybe I'll get used to it before I die, so who knows. Snippety snip, I've done a sleeve. That's the beauty, isn't it, of making things this small. You can say, oh, look, I've done a sleeve. Yeah, I'm on instant gratification, Jane. I'm on little things. Oh, they love it here. Yeah, they absolutely love it here. They're right. I mean, they love being next close to the sea. They don't mind the sea breeze. I don't call it a breeze. I call it a gale. I have to wear my hat wherever. Even in the middle of summer, I look stupid because I get earache. So I'm the one going down the promenade with my ears covered up, and everybody else has got t-shirts and shorts on, and I've got my coat on because I'm that cold. I've worn a summer dress without a cardigan on 2 days. England is supposed to have had a heat wave, but it never got to Fleet. It bypassed Fleetwood. I watch people like, Crochet Rocks. I watch people, I talk to people like Sean, that live down south and that, and they're all going, whoa, isn't it hot? Oh my God, it's such a degrees. And I'm like, it's about 14 here. What is it today? Oh, it's 16 here today. We've had a rise in temperature. They're baking down there. They've got 80 degrees and 90 degrees down south. People say, oh, it's because of the sea breeze. Sea breeze is like a gale coming off the sea. I don't mind a bit of refreshing sea breeze, but this is ridiculous, Blow your hat off, yeah. You can always tell the people who live in Fleetwood. Like our taxi driver came to pick us up the other day, and me and my friend were wearing our big coats, yeah. And he was there in his shorts, and I said, I take it you're born and bred in Fleetwood. He went, yeah, how can you tell? They wear their shorts in the winter. They go down the seafront wearing shorts and a t-shirt, no cardigan, no jacket. And you're thinking, you're from Fleetwood, you're born and bred here. The people who are here as a day tripper, or they're here on holiday, have all practically got their balaclavas on, Yeah, you see the young lasses, with the little tank tops on and shorts, bare midriff. And I'm like, oh God, it's cold. Maybe it's young blood, they don't feel the cold. Maybe I didn't feel that. But I mean, I wore summer dresses all the time in Prestwich without a cardigan. 2 days in almost 3 years. I've had a dress on without a cardigan. In fact, I'm thinking of rearranging the wardrobe. My wardrobe is so small, I can't have all my clothes in it. So I put my winter dresses away and brought my summer dresses out. So now the summer dresses are going away and the winter dresses are all coming out, yeah. Oh, my son, yeah. My son wears shorts most of the time. I think he's become a Fleetwood person. Oh, dear. But I've got worse as I've got older for being cold. I think your blood runs a bit thin when you get old. And I could be anemic again. I've got that funny feeling that I'm anemic. I have periods of anemia in my life, yeah. God, this is turning into a whingy live, isn't it? Oh, come on, let's talk about something more cheerful. I moan on about people making whingy videos, and then I'm making one myself now. Oh, wait. But at least I admit it and I know I whinge. Yeah. I know that. I know that. I've not spoken to Sue all week either. I've sent her a couple of messages, but she must be busy. She's not replied. I did try and ring her last week and didn't get a reply. She must be busy bee. That's all I can say. We're not fell out or anything like that. It's just that she's probably busy. My jumper. It was, oh God. It was called Maypole, I think, the wool. I don't know who made it. It's, as usual, anything I like, they take it off, don't they? It's now discontinued. It was somebody's Maypole, it was called. I got it from, what are they called? Kemp's, is it? I used to always look at Kemp's, the sales section, when they were clearing things off quite cheaply. They used to buy, I think, discontinued lines and then sell them quite cheaply. And when I had money, remember that far back, I used to always be on. If I wasn't on Ice Yarns, I was on Kemp's. Yeah. Somebody sent me a message. Let's see who it is. Oh, can't see because it's gone dark. Hang on. Oh, right. Yolanda's watching, but she can't say anything. But she did give me a thumbs up. Thank you, Yolanda. It depends what device people are watching on. People are always saying, oh, I can't do a thumbs up, I can't comment, can't do this. I think it depends on what device you're using. I can't comment on, if I watch anybody's YouTube video on my phone, I can't even do a thumbs up, I can't do anything. And I'm always forgetting, I'm always thinking to myself, I watch it on my Fire Kindle thing, or I watch it on my phone and I think, I'm going to go in the morning, find that video and give them a thumbs up. And of course I forget. So I can understand why people, forget. With me, it is difficult. But I can get out of the garage again. You see, that's another thing. It's cost me over £40 this week in taxes because I couldn't roll my scooter over the drive when they were doing it. So everywhere I've went, I've had to get a taxi. And they sure know how to charge with taxis around here. They sure do. So that's another beef, you see. I said to my friend, I said, are they still workhouses? Because that's where I think I'm going to finish up in a bit. Well, I need my bathroom floor replacing because it's never been done from when I moved in. Technically, really, I would like a new bathroom, but that is out of the question. Unless I win the lottery tonight, that is out of the question. So I'll just settle for having a new floor. Well, new flooring, yeah. If you're not on your phone, you can't chat on your tablet. Yeah, I can watch some videos on my Kindle, But it's in my bedroom, and my bedroom's in a bit of a dead spot for the internet. So, it's sort of, you get that circle of death, don't you, going round and round and round. So you're like moving it around trying to get an internet signal. But I don't like taking the Chromebook. It's too big, I can't sit up in my bed. I have to lie down. I don't know what there is about my bed. I cannot sit up in it. So it's a bit big, isn't it, to lie down with a Chromebook. So I just use my little Kindle. It's only about that big, yeah. But, I mean, I've been handicapped because, of course, I can't read it. I have books on there and I can't read them at the minute. So that pees me off a little bit. I've tried doing the talking books and then I fall asleep part way through. I listen to the Agatha Christie mysteries and I don't think I've heard a full one yet. I sort of wake up and it's onto a different story because it's moved off that one and gone on another one, and I think, oh. So I just lean over and turn it off. So I've listened to halves of loads of Agatha Christie. You watch on the television? Oh, Val, yeah. Oh, you're now on the iPad? Yeah. I know. As the thunderstorms finished, she's gone on holidays and she got thunderstorms. Is the weather brightened up, Val? I hope it is. I don't want to ruin your holiday. Nothing worse is there when you save up to go on holiday and then when you get there it rains. Happened to me one time. Normally I've been quite lucky when I've been on holiday with weather. But one holiday, oh dear me. Talk about we needed Wellingtons and Pacamacs. I can remember coming to Blackpool once on holiday when I was young. And it was that bad. The waves were lashing across the pram and they were, oh God, we were nearly blown in the sea. I should have known, shouldn't I? It's only down the road. I should have known it was going to be bad when I came in. Oh dear. I'm making dolly clothes, Val, if you want to know what I'm doing. Yeah. I like making dolls' clothes. I think I must be. Oh, you're home now. Oh, I'm glad you only had rain one night, yeah. Hey, our duck pond's gone, Val. Our driveway's nearly finished. Ooh, the duck pond's all gone. Yeah. We can no longer see the seagulls having a bath. Oh, it was ridiculous. It wasn't just a little puddle. It was it went the whole way across the front of the house. It was embarrassing. So it's now almost finished. They've just got to come back and do the few little tiddly bits, yeah. Let's put one smile on my face, apart from the dentist. I'll tell you that bit next week when I see you. Apart from the dentist and the diabetes nurse. They peed on my parade, if you know what I mean. But pin a smile on our face. It's Saturday. I might win the lottery and I might not either, but never mind. You've got to be hopeful. What do they say? Live in hope and die in despair. Let me look if my fire's still burning. Yes, it's still burning. I've had to light the fire. It's that cold. I'm freezing. Yeah. Don't think I've ever lit the fire in September before, or ever put heating on in September. There's me talking about ordering logs. And if you know of any nice place that sells logs, Val, let me know. It's logs and coal at the moment. We put the logs on to start it off, and then we put the coal on to keep it like simmering. Otherwise, it burns all night. Yeah. But we're rapidly trying to plug up all the holes everywhere, the air brick holes and the gaps in. Well, we shouldn't have any gaps in the windows because we've had new windows and new doors put in. So we shouldn't have any, but it still manages to find us the drafts. Oh, it was my mum's 113th birthday yesterday, Val. So you share your anniversary with my mum. She would have been 113. All she ever wanted was to live to 100 to have a telegram from the Queen. And of course, she didn't make it. She died when she was 93. Ah, so happy anniversary anyway. It's one of my great-granddaughter's birthdays today as well. She's 6 today. She's 6 years old today. I could have never done 61 with my husband. I'd have killed him before. Although you're not supposed to say that on here, are you? You're supposed to say unalive him. I could have never done that. Never in a million years. One of us would have had to go. Oh, that was my phone going zzz, zzz. I'm having a telephone consultation about my eyeballs on Monday. That should be good. How can they tell you a telephone conversation about your eyes? Can you show your eyeballs to the screen, please? Yeah. Crochet with Claire has got a video up. Very nice. Person critically injured. Where's that then? Sorry, this content is not available in your region. That's okay. I didn't want to know. Ah. It's always doom and despondency, isn't it? Every time I press the news, it's always somebody's been stabbed, somebody's been shot. Yeah. Yours was yesterday. Oh, you got one from Charles. No, my mum and dad did 50-something years. They didn't get to 60, my mum and dad. No, they never made the 60. Mum was still around, of course, but dad passed away, sadly. I'll never get mine from mine. If I live to 100, it'll probably be from William, won't it? I mean, Charles is my age kind of thing. Well, roughly my age. So I can't see him being around to send me anything for my 100th birthday if I get there. Well, the way I'm carrying on according to my diabetes, no, so I shall be dead tomorrow, you know. She said, it's all right having a short life and a happy one, but what happens if you have a stroke and you're incapacitated? I thought, oh, being so cheerful keeps you going. Yeah. She was a right little bundle of sunshine. Anyway, I'm not seeing her again, so why am I worrying about her? Whatever job to live longer than mine. My mum was, I think she was 92 or 93, my mum. And my dad was 80 odd, so I've got a bit to go yet. My gran was 90 something. And the men seem to die young, yeah, but oh, well, I've got somebody ringing me up on Monday. Somebody from, the diabetes group. I said, it better not be her because I'll slam the phone down. You can't do that with a mobile anymore, can you? You know, the satisfaction of slamming the phone down like you used to have. It used to be great, didn't it? Slamming the phone down in somebody's ear. Now all you can do is cut them off on a mobile. Okay, it's not the same. It's not the same gesture. It was a great gesture, that slamming the phone down. I've done that a few times. No, it isn't funny, is it, when you have to just cut them off on your mobile? It's too gentle, isn't it? Dink. Throw the phone down. It's not many people have a phone anymore, a landline anymore. I had one up to moving here, and then my son said, "Did I really want one when we moved here?" And I said, "No, because all I got was people telly what not us, you know. People trying to sell me stuff. I used to get about 4 a day. You know, people with accents you can't understand. You're not allowed to say what are you, but you know what I mean, don't you? When they talk to you, you can't understand the word they're talking about, you know. I said to one, "I'm not talking to you because I can't understand you," and he told me to F off. Oh, very nice. Thought you knew that bit, didn't you? Your English might be rubbish, but you knew how to say that to me. I thought, how lovely. Now, I was very ladylike. I didn't swear at the dentist. I felt like swearing at the dentist, but oh gosh, a young child wouldn't know what to do with it when you have to dial. Can you imagine if you gave them a dial phone and say, "What do you do? What do you do with that?" They wouldn't know what to do with. You always get telemarketers as well. Yolanda always gets telemarketers as well. Very annoying. You're right there. It is very, very annoying. Oh, the ads are going to run. Sorry about this, people. It has nothing to do with me. It's something that YouTube has drummed up. I wouldn't mind if they paid me for them. That's everybody's gripe, isn't it? People who have to make videos, they put adverts on that we don't want them to put on, and then they don't pay us for them. They must be getting the revenue. They're not going to let advertisers put adverts on for free, are they? So they're going to get paid. So, you know, why don't they pay us? That's too much to expect, isn't it, in this world? Screw the little people. Because the big people get money and can take care of themselves. Hi, Lulu. I'm crocheting Dolly's sleeves at the moment. And I've nearly finished another one. It's what you call instant gratification, isn't it? Oh, they pay me that much about every 3 months, Jane. I'm not one of the high rollers. I'm not one of them that gets paid every month. And when they pay me, you know, it probably works out about 3p a video or something, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's right, Munchkin, yeah. It's the same with Etsy. I mean, I've not got my shop on Etsy at the minute because I got sick of being screwed. You know, they're charging like up to 20% when you sell anything, and then they want you to put postage for free. So you're paying the 20% on the cost of the jumper plus the postage. So they're charging you 20% on the whole transaction. You know, I mean, the postage costs that I have to charge people are not profit to me. They're just exactly the same amount of money that I give to the post office. So it's not like I'm making a profit on anything. And yet they don't, they used to charge you on, you know, the sale and not the postage. But now they're gone greedy. they're taking 20%, which is probably more than I make for crocheting it. So I haven't got a page at the minute. I have only got a page at the moment. And I don't think I will anymore. I don't know what I'm going to do. 2 little sleeves. I've done the little jacket. It's waiting for buttons. I've ordered some buttons, but they haven't arrived yet. I'll show you what I've done so far. I've got another little coat that's waiting for buttons, a little coat and a little pair of trousers. That's waiting for buttons. I've got another one somewhere waiting for buttons. Oh, there's the little pink trousers that go with the jacket that I've just made. And I made another little set. That's waiting for buttons as well. It's another little hooded jacket. I've got a wedding dress, but that's all in pieces at the moment. Oh, my knitting needles are poking through my bag. It's a bit sad, isn't it? Let's pull them out. Put them in. Have I looked at Kofi? I haven't, to be quite honest. I don't know much about Kofi. I did have it one time when I was supposed to, somebody to buy me a cup of coffee. But that didn't work, so about 3 people bought me a coffee. That's Mel the little doll. She's finished. She's got a hat. She's got a stole. And she's even got a pair of knickers. You can't have a doll without his knickers on. Sorry, you can't. Yeah, I'm waiting to... That needs a bit of trimming. It needs a little flower thing on its hat and stuff. That's not quite finished. And this one's got a little dress. Oh, its little hat's gone a bit funny. And it's got a little... I'm waiting for a bead to put on its bag. It's got its buttons on the back of the... But they're a bit big, actually. But I've got just some smaller buttons that are coming. And that's got its little sun hat on. And that's also got its knickers on. Can't have a dolly without its knickers on. Yeah, a lot of places, they don't want big items, a lot of big places. I mean, people have said to me, use Vinted. That doesn't work because Vinted don't want you to sell anything that's new. They want you only to sell your old stuff out the wardrobe. I'd thought about Depop. They charge, I think, 10% Depop. I don't know. I've got a lot of things. I can't think at the minute. I'm just off the mood to sell. I've got to sell some stuff. I really do, yeah. Well, I don't know. I'm going to sell some clothes on their own, and I'm going to sell some of the dolls. But the dolls I got off eBay. But if anybody wants to buy them, dolls with the clothes, then obviously I'll have to charge them what I paid for the dolls, won't I? I can't just, Hi, Kaz. You're home. Right, I'm going to pour myself another coffee, seeing as I can't have anything else. Trying to keep my blood sugars down. Oh, it's a pity that Chris isn't on because I had fish and chips for me tea. Mm-hmm. Chris would have been so jealous. That I had fish and chips for my tea. I've got a flask with my coffee in. Little flask. My little flask. I've had this flask since I was at Mountside. I used to use it when I was at Mountside. Right, what am I going to crochet next? I don't know. I don't know. I've got loads of patterns in the shed that I couldn't quite find. I have printed off some patterns, but they're all in thin, tiny cotton and little tiny steel hooks. And I thought, no, for what I'm going to be selling these for, I'm not taking all that time. I'm not going to do that. Oh, my thumb's sore and I haven't even pricked my thumb. Yeah, Chris isn't here. He's moving house. He might not be on for a couple of weeks, he said. Just depends how long it takes him to get his internet set up. I knew he was going to move, but I didn't realise it was that imminent. Right, let's look what I've got in here. Well, I crocheted a pair of trousers off a pattern. Came to crochet the jacket and part of the pattern was missing. I sent a message to the lady who sold me the pattern and she said, oh, I can't find it, I'll give you a refund. So I've got a pair of trousers and no jacket. I'll have to fudge my way around it, won't I? Oh, that's a bit... The colour changes on that are a bit big, actually, to... You know, it'll have one turquoise leg and one pink leg, if I use that. Trying to find some other colours. I've got that colour. I'll use that colour. In order to sell them for hardly any money, I've... yeah, I didn't think that 4-ply would work out because it was a double knit in that... the emu pearl was a double knit, yeah. Right, let's have a little look at the hookie. $3.50. That might be a bit big. Let's go on this one. What's this one? $3.25. I'll try that one. Yeah, you don't want anything too flopsy really for that pattern, Kaz, because it won't show the pattern up. It's got to be something, you know, that will show the stitch definition. If it's too floppy, it'll all go, yeah, whatever. Oh, you're on Top Chat instead of live chat. No, I'm not on Top Chat. Yeah, that should be all right. Yeah, yeah. You don't want anything too floppy. People love soft, floppy things, but then what happens with soft, floppy things is this is what happens with them. They all ball up. You know, they don't last. A bit of firmness is great. I'm always listening to people on YouTube, usually American ladies, going, oh, it's buttery soft. And I'm thinking, it'll wash like rubbish. It won't stand up to wear and tear. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. You were going to say something else then. What about the sweet young things with the buttery soft yarn? The ones who think they've reinvented the wheel. Or the ones who say, I've invented a stash busting pattern and it's a keychain. That would stash bust about 10 grams if you're lucky. Oh, the floppy thing. Oh, well, we don't. None of us like the floppy things, do we? Although I wouldn't know. It's been that long since. Things like that don't even cross my mind anymore, Kaz. The only thing I think about now is crafting and the weather. Yeah. How did Lulu make? Lulu make what? Oh, the emojis. I don't know. I can't do things like that. Couldn't even work out why my camera wouldn't work. As I say, I didn't make any videos this week because the workmen, when they didn't have the um, cement mixer working, the cement truck arrived and then they were singing very loudly with music on. And I would have got flagged on YouTube, you know, because they don't like you putting music on. And, you know, so I just didn't bother. I thought, no, I can't cope. Oh, you love me dolly's clothes. I hope people do. I'm just hoping that if I put them cheap enough, like people will buy them. There'll be so much with the doll because I've had to buy the doll, haven't I? So I want my money back for the doll. Or if I've got any extra clothes, I was just going to put them on a card and just sell the clothes on their own. You know, in case they've already got their Barbies. Yeah. Yeah, I can say I've got loads of patterns in the shed. I need to go in the shed because obviously I've got to empty all these units in here. I've got to take all the books out. Luckily, I kept all the great big, you know, those big plastic tote things. You know, the big plastic tote things. They're all in the shed. They're all empty. And I knew they'd come in useful. That's why I didn't want to throw them away. So I've got to fill them up with everything I've got in these cupboards and empty the bookcase, which will be a thing in itself. I might start tomorrow. At least I'll get the you know, the boxes out because we're talking about swapping everything round, swapping the conservatory round, and making it into a lounge. Yeah. Find something to knit with a 4-ply. I'm sure you will. But a nice cardigan for summer. 4-ply is nice for summer. If you're further south than me, you might get a summer. Yeah. You know, if you're the lucky one. No, guys, no, Chris is moving, so that's why he's not in. Nathan hasn't put in an appearance, and neither has Shad. Um, Isaac usually comes in a bit later. Tommy Tornado, perhaps he's got blown away in the tornado. I don't know where he is tonight. So apart from that, no, it's all the ladies tonight at the moment. No guys. No guys tonight. Shad could have gone fishing. You never know where he's gone. Well, that's what I'm hoping, Val. I'm hoping that people have got these Barbies. These are not proper Barbies. I have to be careful not to show their boo-boos off. I don't know who they are, but they're not a proper Barbie. But they're nice dollies. Yeah, you could double up your 4-ply. Make it's more like an Aran, I think, if you double it up 4-ply. If you knit 2 balls together. Oh, give over. Who told you that rubbish, Kaz? Babies have to have superwash merino. I bet you've been watching one of them chats where they all have hand-dyed yarn, haven't you? I've never known any babies die from wearing acrylic. Oh, give over. They want you to buy superwash merino at X number of pounds a bar. That's what they want you to buy. Come on, when I knew Mum has had a baby and she's absolutely knackered after giving birth, has she got time to hand wash a little super merino cardigan? I don't think so. Everything, and the baby's been sick all over it. No, it goes in the washing machine. Yeah. Oh, yeah, they probably are. They probably want you to buy their merino. Yeah. I come off Ravelry for that reason. I mean, I'm still on it for the patterns, but I got fed up with being told in all these, you know, groups and stuff that I should be using pure wool. I shouldn't be using crappy acrylic and all this jazz. And I thought, oh, go away. Go away with yourself. One lady said to me, surely it would be better to save up and make one cardigan a year in something decent than make all the ones you make in acrylic. And I'm thinking, hey, Don't talk to me like that. Yeah. Oh, you could do the Call the Midwife blanket. That's done in 4-ply, I think. I've never heard of, well, except maybe a snobby mum that says, "Oh, I'm not putting my baby in acrylic." Tell you. Who can afford that? A lot of babies, though, are sensitive to wool. You know, they have an allergy to wool. I've read that somewhere saying that a lot of newborn babies are allergic to wool. And of course, if they're vegan, they don't want wool anyway, even though it doesn't hurt the sheep. You know, I can't understand that. Why they won't wear wool. It's not like you're killing the sheep to get the wool, is it? I don't understand that. But if people are vegan, they don't want wool anyway. Oh, yeah, the bonnet that was back to front, you mean? I saw that picture when Princess Charlotte came out of the hospital and she had her bonnet on back to front, yeah. I can't use wool. I get dermatitis. You know, when it goes through when it goes through your fingers like that, I get a rash and I get contact dermatitis from wool. I think probably it's mostly the hand-dyed yarn. It's what they put in the dye that I'm allergic to. No, I've heard before that other people are saying that newborn babies can be allergic to wool. So I don't know where they get that from, that you should only use merino wool. Oh, come off it. I mean, what young mum has got time to stand at the sink, hand washing and drying a little cardigan? The baby's been sick all over. Come on. Everything goes in the washing machine if you're the young mums. If it doesn't machine wash, they don't want to know, do they? Hand wash, that's something our grannies. I hand washed all my baby things, but then I'm old, you know. I'm not a young mum, am I? I hope my dolly's not allergic to wool because those trousers I crocheted, the ones I can't get the jacket for, they're made of wool. Yeah. There's not a lot of baby wool about. A lot of actual baby wool. Yeah, you can get merino and stuff like that if you pay an absolute fortune for it, yeah. But I mean, it used to be all wool when I was a baby and I was allergic to it. I used to itch and twitch all over the place, yeah. Yeah, exactly, Munchkin. You know, I don't know why vegetarians are like, oh, I'm not wearing wool. It's not like you're killing a sheep. You're doing it a favour, aren't you? I've got some beautiful hand-dyed yarn in the shed. I just go and pat it. I refuse to make it into socks. I refuse. It's much too nice for making it into socks. I'm not hiding it inside my shoes. The only thing I was thinking of is I might make fingerless gloves. I just took mine off, haven't I? Because I cannot understand the logistics of paying £30 for a skein of yarn, which some people do, and making a pair of socks with it. That's sacrilege to me. Unless you're going to walk around just wearing your socks and no shoes. I can't see the point, you know. When you're wearing your trousers, nobody's going to pull up your trouser leg and say, oh, what a lovely pair of socks you're wearing. Did you make them yourself? What the heck? I've got about 12 pair of socks I've hand knitted in the drawer. And they only come out when the snow's on the ground. And even then I have to wear them inside out because I can't stand the pearl side next to my feet. I'm weird, I know. Yeah, they might do that. You're right. That might be the signal, you know, for Masons. It might not be the funny handshake. It might be pull up your trouser leg and show your hand knit sock off. It could be that, couldn't it? No, it has to be really cold before I put my hand knitted socks on. I've got other socks, you know, the shop bought socks that I wear now and again. But the hand knit socks, because you can't put them in the washer, they just shrivel up. But who wants to stand there hand washing socks? It was a Christmas gift. I've bought, whenever I go to I didn't at the last show, but whenever I go to one of these wool shows, I always treat myself to a skein of yarn. And then I never use it. I just go and pat it. Oh, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. Pat it. I've still got all that yarn that Daniel sent me. I balled it up, but I still haven't done anything. Oh, I'm sick of anybody telling me to keep a food diary, Kaz. I've kept a food diary on and off for about 15 years and I've never found a trigger that sets my IBS off. I live on Gaviscon. It's my after dinner mint. Gaviscon and Buscarpan is what I live on. They had a big bottle in the chemist and I said to her, how much is that big bottle of Gaviscon? £18, she said. I said, oh, leave it there. £18. I said, no. I'll just get the tablets and suck them. I have stomach pains nearly every day of my life, Kaz. If I don't have stomach pains, it's a really good day. They wake me up in the middle of the night sometimes, griping. And I think, oh, God, I've hot water bottles and stuff on my tummy. Nothing works. It's just got to work its way through the pain. It's great having IBS. It's the most wonderful. And it's very underrated. No, they only ever give me, what do you call it, if I ask for it. I've given over asking for it. I just buy it at the chemist now. Can't be bothered with it. They never get to the bottom of it. They just say, oh, it's your IBS, keep a food diary. You'll find the trigger. I said, I've been looking for 15 years. I haven't found the trigger yet. They said it was white bread. I cut white bread out. Didn't make a heap of the difference. They said it was cow's milk. I cut cow's milk out. Didn't make a heap of the difference. Don't eat dairy. Stopped eating cheese. Stopped eating everything. No difference. So I've yet to find out what sets me off. Certain things do trigger me, and I know they do. Yeah, red cabbage is one of them. Oh dear. My daughter-in-law used to have a spate of buying red cabbage as a vegetable. Oh, that used to set me off something awful. It doesn't exactly make me feel wonderful. I don't need poop medicine. I need the opposite, Jane. That's the trouble with IBS. IBS means you're friends with your bathroom rather a lot. I just love it in the middle of the night when it's freezing, you know. You have to get up and you're like, shall I put my dressing gown on? Am I going to be there a while? They gave me the aniseed one. Oh, that is disgusting. That Gaviscon aniseed. Oh, that is really awful. Think yourself lucky they don't give you that. Oh, look, a little back. The back of a little dress. It's like thick, isn't it, when you're trying to drink Gaviscon? It's like, ooh. It's like emulsion paint. Or maybe it's gloss paint, yeah. Yeah, when I was in my other house, I used to always have a massive big bath towel on my radiator, but we don't have a radiator in my bathroom. I've got a towel rack, but it doesn't keep warm, yeah. Oh, cabbage. I'm not so bad with green cabbage, but red cabbage, oh gosh, I don't know what's in that. But that sets me off something awful. Apparently things that put weight on you, besides potatoes, are sweet corn and peas, would you believe? I could understand it with me with sweet corn, because I like loads of butter on it. But seeing as I've got to go easy on the dairy, I just feel sick every morning. No, I'm not pregnant, just in case you're wondering. Bit old for that. I never felt nauseous when I was pregnant, and yet I feel nauseous now. Get up in the morning and think, ugh. And I have to take my tablets on empty stomach, so we're talking about that. I need to take my antibioticals. Can you take penicillin? Are you allergic to it? Oh my God. Phenoxymethyl penicillin tablets. Whatever that is. I've got to take 2 4 times a day. I wouldn't mind, but these kind of tablets, you know, the ones that don't have a coating, they go there and then they stick. So I get a pain in my chest when I've taken them. It's not a heart attack, it's just a pain in my chest through these damn things because they don't go down. And they taste absolutely vile. I'm getting messages again. Message in a bottle. I'm actually getting hot now. Oh, thank you, Yolanda. She loves my doll clothes. Man 52 held on suspicion of murder. What? Oh, God, here we go again. After a woman 43 has been found dead. Oh, wonderbar. It's been every day this week somebody's been found dead in Manchester. Oh, dear. 52-year-old man has been remanded in custody on suspicion of murder. Right, okay. If there's nobody being stabbed, it's somebody being... I mean, we had that bus load of kiddies overturned. There's only one been killed, thankfully, but the bus driver died. He had a medical episode at the wheel. He turned the bus over. It was full of school kids. Luckily, they've all managed to get out, apart from one girl that was killed. Whether she was sat near the driver, you know, I don't know, at the front. Yeah, they said he had a medical episode. He died. He must have had a heart attack or something at the wheel. He wasn't that old either. He wasn't like a very old driver, like you expect it, don't you, with 70-odd-year-old drivers, but I think he was about 53 or something. You know, not ill or anything like that. Yeah, they've arrested a 60-year-old as well as a 16-year-old as well for cutting the tree down. What the point of cutting the tree down? do they want to cut a tree down? Well, the flooding is like in different places. It's because there's no green spaces anymore, is there? There's nowhere for the rain to soak away. So it's all concrete everywhere, and they don't have proper drains. Then places flood, don't they? I mean, it flooded here in Cleveland, and that was just all because they hadn't cleaned the drains out properly. What do they keep saying in that, what's it called, somebody's almanac, that we'll all die in a flood, fire, pestilence, or whatever we'll die in. Being so cheerful keeps us going, innit? Yeah. Ooh, I've gone all hot. Ooh, I'm not usually this hot. I've gone all... For once in my life, I'm hot. Elmore's Almanac, that's the one, yeah. My dad used to buy that and read it. According to Elmore's Almanac, we should all be dead by now. I think he forecast the end of the world about 10 years ago, didn't he? Yeah, that tree. I mean, what harm was that tree doing to anybody? Why did they cut it down? It wasn't like it was in the way or blocking a road or anything. You can understand it if it's like in next door and it's blocking your daylight and the people concerned won't do anything about it. I can understand people getting their hair off and cutting the tree down, but not a tree in the middle of nowhere. I've gone all hot. Ooh. I long ago ceased to wonder what makes people tick. Well, some people tick. I mean, you wonder like what goes on in their mind. I mean, like these people who do these bombings and and these people who shoot up school kids and things like that. They go in a school and open fire. I mean, what goes through their head? They've got to be a bit deranged, haven't they? They can't be normal. Why would you think it's normal to go into a school and start gunning kids down? I mean, that 17-year-old boy who killed that 15-year-old girl in London, pulling out a knife. What's he doing with a knife? Going on his way to school. Yeah, well, hopefully they can either plant another tree, but it's going to take years for a tree to grow like that. It was hundreds of years old, that tree. It'll still take forever to grow again, though, won't it, Munchkin? Once you sabotage a tree like that. Oh, I've just dropped the back. I have dropped the back of my little tiny, tiny dress. Now I've got to go down and get it. It's a long way down when you can't bend. Come here, little front. Come here, come here. I'll stab it with my crochet hook. Aha, got it. That was an effort. It's terrible when you can't bend down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10. Oh dear. That's because the workmen woke me up too early this morning. I like to have a lie-in on a Saturday. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Got another 3 row. Ooh. Yeah, it won't be the same though. It won't be the same tree. It'll be like son of tree or daughter of tree, but it won't be the same tree, will it? It's a pity you can't super glue it back together again and get it to grow, isn't it? Well, what the heck was he doing out there with a chainsaw in the middle of nowhere? Surely his parents knew he was there. Oh, this 60-year-old man must have been with him. It's not sort of something that a 16-year-old would think of doing on their own. Oh, I'll go out and cut a tree down. A 16-year-old's more likely to go and take the hubcaps off a car, isn't it? Or do something like that. They're not really interested in trees, are they? At 16. Especially a tree in the middle of nowhere. Righty-ho. Done a little front. Oh, yeah, could have done it. Hiya, Joe. Hello there. How are you today? We've got no men today. What have you done with them all? Have you had them on your live? Have you sneaked them all off, Joe? Joe's had all the men. Well, I don't think they would stand there long enough to chop the tree down for logs. Yeah. 2, 3, 4. I've got to order some logs. That's going to cost me a... Yeah. Well, Chris has messaged me saying he's moving house. Don't know where Shad is. Don't know where Nathan is. I think you've got all the men on your channel. You've pinched them all. That's what it is. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh. Oh, dearie me. I've had to light the fire, Joe. Now I'm hot. Now I'll be opening the window, letting the heat out. The fire will die down soon. I haven't put any more logs on it or anything. It's dying down now. You shipped your dad back to Colorado. What, that until his house is ready, is that? Will it take you long to sort his house out? I don't know how long it takes to do these tiny houses. It seemed to take Shad a while, didn't he, to do his tiny house? I mean, Chris was talking about getting a tiny house, but I think he's gone to a normal house. I think he's gone back to where he used to live before. But I don't think he's gone to a tiny house. I might be wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he's got a tiny house. I don't know. I know he spoke about getting one because he was talking about getting rid of a lot of his stuff so that he could move, yeah. Well, it shouldn't take long then, should it, once you get your electric and your water in, yeah? Oh, if he's only 16, he'll get his hand slapped, won't he? Go away and don't touch a chainsaw again. You're a naughty, naughty boy. That's the trouble. There's no... You know, nothing to stop people anymore. There's no fear of anything, is there? We used to have community service in, you know, when I lived in Prestwich at the clough at the bottom. We used to have the naughty boys down there. They used to come in a big van. They used to have them there sweeping up the leaves and tidying up and doing. Didn't do them any good. Hello, the word be true. Knit one, pearl one, rib 30 rows. Oh, I wish you joy with that, yeah. Yeah. We've not heard from Shad. Has he gone fishing? I don't know whether he said last week he was going fishing or not. I can't remember. Cannot remember. I'm sure some of you remember. Did he say he was going fishing? I don't know how he manages in a tent. I mean, he's no spring chicken, is he? He's nearly my age. I wouldn't want to sleep in a tent and fish. I'd be more for my creature comforts and wanting a mattress. But then again, I'm a wimp. And I'll admit it. The only way I'd go camping is in a caravan, trailer as you call them in America, with a nice comfy bed. That's the only way you'd ever get me doing any camping. Oh, I'm hopeless at them baskets. No matter how tight I try to make them, I make very floppy baskets. They always go, Yeah, I wouldn't want to. I'd be no good if I had to catch my own food. I'd have starving or live on. I'd have to live on dandelion leaves. Well, there's no grass around here. I tell you, you can't live on grass around here. There isn't any. Unless you go raid somebody's lawn. We've got sort of like weedy sort of stuff by the seafront, like wild grass stuff. You couldn't eat that. I'd be picking the stuff that was poisonous me anyway. You know, when you see these programs with these chefs and they're in the Mediterranean and they go out and they pick all these edible herbs and things, and I'm like, couldn't really do it here. Oh, hello, I've got Rosie. Hello, Rosie. Hello, my little girl. Hi, sweetheart. I think you're on your way outside, aren't you, for a wee wee? Is that where you are? On your way for a wee? Yeah, off she goes. Yeah, the people at Knit Club have been making the baskets and they get them to stand up, but when I tried it, they just flopped over.
Come on, you.
I'm actually hot, would you believe?
Eh?
I'm actually hot.
Good. Trixie.
She gone to the fire. Oh, hello, darling. Come here then. I'll say hello. Off you go to Daddy. Daddy wants you.
Come on.
Trixie's just come in and flopped in front of the fire.
Come on.
She said, no, Daddy, I'm warm. Staying here.
Trixie.
Trixie, go on. Daddy wants you. That dog is so funny. Oh, dear. Hi, Diane. Trixie loves the fire. She absolutely loves it. She just flopped in front of it. I really had to try and get her to move. Oh, dear. She's a funny little doggy. She loves it when I light the fire. She stretches in front of it like, you know, right, this is my bed, this is where I'm staying. Tra-la-la. Another rant about the blanket yarn. I've not used that blanket yarn. Is that thick stuff, that sort of fuzzy stuff? I've not used it. Mind you, I don't make blankets, so why would I buy it? Yeah. Rosie is a Heinz 57 variety. She came as a stray from Romania. Apparently she's got some lurcher in her, but I don't know what she is. Trixie, the one who flopped in front of the fire, she's a thoroughbred French bulldog. Yeah. The lows of 70. We've got, I don't know what we've got. We've got 16 degrees, whatever that is in Fahrenheit. I don't know what that is in Fahrenheit. I know this year's whizzed round, hasn't it? October tomorrow. Whizzed right round. We haven't really had any summer. Well, we haven't anyway. I don't know about anybody else, but we haven't had any summer. Hardly any to speak of. It was like, oh, summer. Look, it's gone. 2 or 3 nice days and that was it. I bought a pair of shorts. I wore them once. I knew when I bought them I was going to put the mockers on it, you know. I put them on one day. Your son's birthday. Yeah, it was my mum's yesterday. Is she back again?
Yeah, I'm going to leave this door open a bit. I'm going to turn the telly up upstairs, so
Right.
just to let a bit of warmth.
Yeah, it's too hot in here.
I'll leave the door open.
Yeah.
See you later.
See you later. Arian's leaving the door open because I'm too hot. They're letting the heat go up the stairs. Oh, they're turning the telly off so it won't be loud. Otherwise I get flagged, you know, for having the telly on. YouTube and busted, you know, have you got him? That's why I couldn't make a video this week, because the lads outside had their radio blasting away there. I couldn't make a video, yeah. He's gone to Rhodes with his wife. Ooh, I love Greece. You saw my photographs on Facebook of Skiathos. I would love to go back, except it's cobbles and it's a bit hilly. So I don't think I could cope. Otherwise I would have gone back, but... Your birthday's October the 4th, 71. Oh, you're still a chicken then, aren't you? Still a chicken. I'm 78 next month. Creeping up towards me 80. Oh, hiya, Tracy. I didn't see you coming in. Come on, give us your machine. I like the burp and the fart best. Oh, dear. Yeah, she's got a machine that she presses and it does clapping and all that jazz. But I like the burp and the fart best because I've got like toilet humour, I'll tell you. So, oh, we've got no men today, Tracy. We've scared them all away today. No men. Don't know where they've all gone. I'm making doll's clothes in case you're wondering what I'm doing. Fiddling bits of crochet. I'm waiting for my little buttons to arrive. I've got some, I think, in the shed, but I can't find anything. You don't usually... We do sometimes have men come in. We've got about 3 or 4 that are regulars usually. But one of them's moving house, so he's not going to be coming on. One of them seems to have gone fishing, and I don't know where the others are. Nathan's usually on, he's not on. My mum would have been 113 yesterday. I put on Facebook 112, but when I looked, I'd got the year wrong. She was born in 1910, not 1911. So I was maligning the poor lady. Oh, she did want a telegram from the Queen. She said she was going to live to be 100 just to get the telegram from the Queen. But of course she didn't manage it, yeah. Yeah, 62's too young, you're right there. My granddads both died before my grandma's. My dad's dad, I think he died before he actually ever got to retire. So I don't know how old he was. And then my mum's dad, I think he was about 70 when he passed away, yeah. But that's what they want us all to do, so they don't have to pay us this pension. I read somewhere that they're going to, in order to do this triple lock, whatever it is, they're going to do away with this winter fuel bill. And I'm like, what? So you're going to give us twopence more a week, are you, and take away our winter fuel bill? I rely on that for my money. They want us all to die off so they won't have to pay us any more money. I get so annoyed when I read these. Oh, the pensioners are getting so much. Some pensioners are getting so much. The majority of them are not. What kind of a skirt shall I put on this dress? Shall I make it into a straight skirt? Yeah, Nathan's vanished. I don't know. There must be something on the telly he's watching today. Well, don't hold your breath, Tracy. You won't get that much when it's time. World Cup rugby and football. Oh, I'm not into any of that. My ex-husband was such a sports fanatic that he drove me bonkers. Back in the day, we only had one television. So he controlled what was coming on there. So we watched everything. Golf, not horse racing, he didn't like that, but show jumping, rugby, football, cricket, tennis, anything. Oh, God. In the end, I bought a little black and white telly and I went into the dining room with it, and then he created, don't you want to come and sit with me? No. Oh, I can't use a big hook. They're too fat, aren't they? I find it difficult. I've got one that's about a 25mm hook. I can't use that at all. Why the heck I bought it, I don't know. I must have thought I was going to make something. I've never used it. I don't think it's been out the packet. I took one look at it and thought, I am never going to use that, yeah. Oh dear. What time is it here? It's 11:15. Yeah, that's not... I mean, my mother-in-law was a nutcase, if you know what I mean. But she was, completely. pots for jug handles, my mother-in-law. Your clock says 10 to 11. You're fast. You're a fast woman. Mine says 22:48 now. Yeah, it's nearly that time. No, my mother-in-law was completely away with the fairies, yeah. It was great. Oh, you rounded up the 2 minutes, yeah. I have to be precise. Oh, dear. Going to do some pet. Well, we had fish and chips tonight. Well, I had fish and peas. Mind you, it took me all my time to eat the fish. It was such a big fish, yeah. You had steak. Oh, you posh thing. Steak tonight. Tracy's posh, she's had steak. Man, with my teeth, I can't even chew steak. And especially when they take that other tooth out, I'll have even less to chew with. I'll be buying one of those baby Moulinexes and chumping all the food up, yeah. Hey. Well, thank you, Destiny. Oh, dear. The light hurting your eyes. Well, you've got eyeballs, Tracy. My eyeballs are fuzzy as anything. That diabetes nurse that I had a row with, she goes, it's because you've got your diabetes is not in control. That's why your eyes are fuzzy. I went, no, I have asked the optician. And she said it's because there's debris growing behind my cataracts. Well, my replacement cataracts. I asked her, was it anything to do with my diabetes? And she said no. So I think I believe the optician. Oh, I'm getting messages again. Who is sending me messages again? If it's about an earthquake in Hindustan, I'm not interested. Yolanda says she's hoping she's able to type next time she's on. Yeah. I'm sure everybody will fill you in with what you've been missing. I'm making the dolls' clothes because I've been talked into doing another craft fair. And I know it's no use taking any of my, garments that I've made because they don't sell. So I'm making dolls' clothes and I'm making some, fingerless mitts and little things like that. Hoping that I can get somebody to part with their pounds. Because they certainly don't want to buy me clothes. So what's the point, I said at first I wasn't going to do it, but then I got talked into it. My friend's got a lot of Christmas decorations that she made last year. And she was trying to sell them really, really cheap and nobody bought them. And I don't know why, because they were lovely. But you don't never know what people want, do you? You went along. We've got a nice, I call them wool shops. We've got a nice wool shop in Cleveland. It's called the Naked Sheep. The only other place we have in Fleetwood is on the market. And she sells like their wool is, she just has a big pile of wool. You've got to like sort through it all. It just puts me off. I'd rather see wool on, shelves and be able to pick what I want. And the market stall, it's just like a big hodgepodge, yeah. Yeah, we were just talking about hand-dyed yarns before you came in. I never know what to do with it because it's too expensive to make into socks and stuff. Oh, there won't be any more great-grandchildren, I doubt, in our family. I doubt that very much. I'll leave them up to you. You can have them, Val. No, there wasn't much choice when I lived in Manchester, to be quite honest. We had the markets in Bury, and in Manchester we only had Abercarn, because we did have Countess Blaze, but she only sold the very, very expensive hand-dyed yarns. So we didn't have a lot of choice really when I was in Manchester, as far as, going to an actual wool shop. They're just dying out all over the place. It's because people don't use them. People buy online, so that's what happens. Oh, I can't do anything other than ordinary knitting. I can't do all this continental. I've tried to do continental, but somehow I always revert, yeah. There's always people in the Naked Sheep. And there's always loads of people go to Fleetwood Market to that. She's got 3 stalls on the market. It's, really busy. But to me, it's like a jumble sale. I just don't know where to look because everything's like in a big jumble. I just wish she was a little bit more organised, yeah. It's never been something I've ever wanted to do, that, Kaz. I've never wanted to dye my own yarn. I can't be doing with all the mess and whatever you've got to buy, and you've got to get this to set and put vinegar and then get more dance and stuff. And it's not been anything I've really ever wanted to do. One of the girls at Knit Club, she does it well, and she goes to these, these wool festival things and sells her wool there. Yeah, I mean, it draped about everywhere, I watch people doing it, these like sweet young things that are doing their own dyeing and stuff. And I'm like, do I really want all that mess? And it's a bit of a cliche market, I think, the hand-dyed yarn. You're either a hand-dyed sock knitter or something, or you're not, yeah. There's lots of people who do, It's not just something I've just never... The most dyeing I've ever done is like dyeing a pair of curtains or something, with that dye that you put in the washing machine. That's the only kind of dyeing I've ever done. When I've wanted to change the colour of something. It's like spinning. I've never wanted to spin. Some people are kilt, aren't they, to spin and get one of those drop spindles and things. And I watched that Little Drops of Wonderful, Ali. She bought like a little electric spinner thing. And I also watched that Not Quite Enough Yarn. She spins all the time. She's got a proper wheel, though. I haven't got the patience, I think. I don't think I've got the patience to do anything like that. It's like that 5D stuff that they buy, that stuff where you stick things on things. I've never been any good at that either. What's it called? That, where you get them little tile things and stick them on a picture. I've never really fancied doing that either. I'd drop them all. They'd be stuck all over the carpet if I did them. It just wouldn't be right at all, yeah. Yeah. Shipping expenses are everywhere. There's nothing we can do. That's one reason why I kind of lost my sales, for diamond painting. That's the one. Never fancied that. Never. That's the reason why I stopped selling on Etsy, because most of my sales used to go to America. And when, they're charging like £29 to post something, you just can't compete, It's just, well, it's the same when you order from Ice Yarn. I can't compete with that either. Prices of the stuff now. It used to be really cheap. And I used to share with Sue sometimes. We'd share the postage. We'd order it together, and share postage. But she doesn't crochet half as much as she used to now. I just don't have the fascination to want to do them, those diamond paintings. I don't know why. I mean, jigsaws I would, yeah. Postage is expensive. It's gone up again, hasn't it, Tracy? You think you look online and you charge somebody what you think it's going to be. And then you get to the post office and it's like more than that. So you can't go back to your customer and say, excuse me, but it's just cost me more to post it than I thought, I don't think they'd be that happy. Oh, God, my eyesight. And I'm so clumsy with my fingers. They'd be flirting everywhere. My finger ends don't feel things, so I know I'd be useless at that sort of thing. I've watched people doing it, like, one bit at a time. My neck, and that's why I'm wearing this. It's got a magnet on it. My neck would kill me because I'd have to be bending over. That's why I can't do jigsaws anymore. I used to love to do a jigsaw. Oh, no. It's just everything you want to do these days costs more money. Every time you go in the shop, what you bought last week for £2 happens to be £2.20 now, Oh, I used to love jigsaws. I've not done them on an iPad or anything. I used to do the physical ones, the ones you put on a table. But, I had a table back in the day that I could put things on. And I used to have one of those mats, where you can roll a jigsaw up, yeah. The worst one I ever did was a round one, and it was called Birds of the World or something. Have you ever tried matching up feathers? Oh, my giddy aunt. Yeah, the last order I tried to put in with ice yarns, it was £16 worth of yarn. But by the time it got to the checkout, it had gone to £42, so I didn't bother. It's like tapestry, and embroidery. I used to do it when I was younger and I had the eyesight for it. But now, tapestries and stuff like that. When I get my eyes lasered, I might be wonderful. You're going to check on Duke? Oh dear, poor little doggy. You had to have a painkiller. I wish you still did your roll-on stuff, Jill, because I would have ordered another couple. I've run out now. I've got a titchy little bit left. Titchy little bit left is what I've got, Jill. A little bit. You do a lot of needlework, don't you, Lizzie? You've got the patience of a saint for doing all that. I couldn't see it, to be quite honest, at the moment. Couldn't see it at all. No, you're right, Esther. My eyes are shocking at the minute. I wouldn't be able to see it. Yeah, I can't stop these ads. They won't let you stop them on live. They just make you, they just keep happening. You can't opt out of them. They won't let me go any further. It's a little thing you've got to tick. And if you try to not tick it and try to go past it, it won't go any further. It's like you will have adverts or else. I don't know when they started doing that. It's been about the last 2 or 3 live videos I've done. They've stuck adverts in the middle of them. Won't mind if they paid me. Thinking they're going to interrupt me, they should pay me for the privilege. I've stopped looking at what they say I earn because it keeps going down instead of up. You know me, Tracy, I'll never get paid for anything I do. Well, at least yours two don't dive in front of the fire, do they? It's got a bit cooler now, Harry, and so opened that door. Yeah, I don't get any. I've given up trying to think I'll ever get any money. You know me, I only get paid every 3 months, and it's only a pittance then. Yes, I sent an attachment. What is it? Oh, the Festival Artisans Street Market at Affinity. Oh, yes, we like to go out in the range. Yes, we do. They've got like a Facebook group here for all the for all the markets that are local, like the craft markets and that. But the one at Affinity, it's outside, and you have to have a gazebo and everything. And I'm not standing there with the wind blowing down me botts itch. Yeah, well, you're not the only one that can't comment on anything. I've got Yolanda keeps sending me messages on Messenger because she can't comment on here. Are you off to bed now, Tracy? I'll be when it gets to the witching hour. I go to bed. Yeah, you're going as well, are you, Kaz? No, you know me, Tracy. I never get any money. I get the odd amount every now and again, and I'm like, oh, whoopee, whoopee! They've actually given me some money this time. Don't really get much. Let's just say I could never retire off it. Doesn't even pay for me logs. Never mind, perhaps I've won the lottery. Perhaps I've not either. I keep winning all the lucky dips, but then my lucky dips never win anything. You met a subscriber for the first time. The first one I ever met, I met at Woolfest. She stopped me. I didn't know her, but apparently she used to watch me. And I got stopped in Abercarn in Manchester by somebody who knew me from my lives, and I got stopped in the Naked Sheep. So 3 times I've been recognised. When you think how many people have watched me in the past, do you think I would get more than 3 people? When I go to places like Woolfest and that now, nobody ever knows who the heck I am now. Because I don't knit and they just very knitty. Um, they're very heavy on the knit. I mean, I walked all around the last Yarndale I went and everybody was wearing crochet jackets. Every other person had a crochet jacket on. And there wasn't, I think there was 2 stalls that had crochet on and that was it. All the rest were knit and more knit, yeah. Well, I've stopped going now because they're in cattle markets and the pavement's very uneven. It's got like gullies, because obviously where there's cattle, they have to swill it all down, don't they? And of course, I'm on my little scooter, not my big scooter, my little one that folds up. And it's got little solid wheels that are like Meccano wheels. And it just jolts me about all over the place. And you can't get in any of the stalls because of these gullies, so you've got to get off and walk in. Well, hello, Nathan. You are our one and only male. Don't know where all the men are today. Where have you been anyway? Have you got a letter from your mum? Where have you been? We've got no Chris tonight. He's moving house. Oh, your phone's dying, Jane. Oh dear. So if we don't hear from you again, we'll know that it's gone. Tomorrow I've got to get some boxes out the shed. We're going to move all this room around, so I need to unpack all my books off my bookcase and put them all in boxes and do all stuff like that. Oh God, my she shed is a bit of a. It's not a mess. It's just not organised. I just want to put all like my double knit in one place and my chunky in another place. It's a bit higgledy-piggledy. I mean, it's not on the floor or anything like that. It's all on the shelves. Because I've got all mine in cellophane bags. Because, with it being in the shed, I don't want any spiders or mice or anything. You've got an appointment, yeah. My shed is quite organised in one way. It's just not organised in the way I want it to be organised, if that makes any sense to anybody. I just want to be able to go in and say, I want white double knit, there it is, yeah. I just don't want to be, now there's white, is it double knit, what is it, is it cotton, or what is it, yeah. I want to just be able to, know where everything is in categories, let's just say. I don't file my wool away in colours or brands. It's got to be, if it's double knit, it's there. If it's Aran, it's there, yeah. Oh, it's always a constant. Well, when I had the wool shop, yeah. It was like 50% serving customers and the other 50% was tidying up, yeah. Because your shelves soon look messy. If you're serving out of packets and that and you're putting them back and they're only part packets or sometimes there's only 1 or 2 balls left, it looks a right mess, yeah. Yeah, I don't like mine being loose. I know yours looks lovely, and I've been in wool shops where it all looks lovely. But when I had the wool shop, I couldn't do that because mums used to come in with kids with sticky fingers and chalk ices and God knows what, and wipe it all over the wool. Or they would break the bands on the wool. And, and they used to say, don't you like children in this shop? Because I used to say, don't do that. And the woman said to me, well, you can just put a bit of sellotape on the band. And I said, well, would you want to buy a ball of wool with a bit of sellotape on the band? Would you want to pay full price for it? She said, well, no. I said, well, don't let your kiddie bust all the bands. He was going around putting them on his wrists and buffing them all out. Oh. Oh, thank you, Destiny. Yeah, I'm good for something then. If it's only getting people to grasp. Yeah, mine's all on shelves in plastic. I haven't got room to. My shelves are only like that deep. They're not big enough to put a plastic box on. So my plastic boxes are all empty in the shed, which is a good thing because now I've got to take everything out of all the cupboards here because we're swapping all this room around. My PC here is near the window and I'm getting all the drafts from the window and it's cold in the winter. So I'm swapping around and putting the sofa under the window and moving the computer over in the other corner, yeah. So I will be glad that my plastic boxes are all empty because I shall be using them. Luckily, we've got a room that's more or less empty that we don't use, so I can store everything in until they move everything around for me. Because obviously they can't move any furniture around when it's full of stuff. They're too heavy to move. So that will be my job this week. Will be moving. Oh, and having my tooth out. That'll be a joy. Having my tooth out. I hate having teeth out. I'll have none left. Tell you, I'll be eating baby food next. Yeah, that is the problem. I did notice that you got a lot of spare space. My shelving units are just not big enough to put. They'd have to be that kind of a box, not that kind of a box. And those kind of the boxes are what I've got. I used to have them like stacked one on top of the other when I had a bigger space, when I lived in my house and I had more room. But now my shed is a lot smaller than your yarn van. So I just don't have the room to have things on the floor anymore. Yeah. Hello. Another message. Another massage. You've got a heck of a lot more. You've got about twice as much room as I've got. Mind you, I've not got a business, have I? Mine's supposed to be personal stash. Ha ha ha, she said. Oh, she's saying the ones at the Affinity, the markets have always done well. Yeah, it does if it's a nice day. If it rains, the Affinity's like a lot of shops, like in a precinct thing, and it's not covered over, it's open to the elements. If it's a gorgeous day, there are loads and loads of people there. If it rains, you don't see anybody. It's like the deserted place. But there's not as many shops as there used to be. Yeah. I don't like seeing people who've got it in bags all over the floor and stuffed in cupboards and that. I do like some kind of an order, into my... Hi, Mimi. I like some kind of order so I know exactly where I'm going to start looking. If I think, oh, I want some black double knit, white double knit, I like to know exactly where I'm going to go for it, yeah. Oh, the knit clubs, yeah, they were fine. I managed to get to them all this week, which was a feat in itself because I had to get taxis all the way because I couldn't get my scooter out over the driveway while they were doing it. But now it's more or less finished. I do that with my hand-dyed yarn, Mimi. I take it out and pat it, I don't make anything with it. I just take it out and pat it. I fondle it. And imagine what I would make with it that's not socks, yeah. I just cannot bring myself to use camel-haired, hand-dyed yarn for socks. I just can't bring myself. When you've paid £25 for a skein, you cannot bring yourself to make socks with it. You just can't. And put them in your shoes and stick your toes through at the end. No. No, I don't mean me. They're permanently... The only trouble I had was the other week when I had a faulty battery, when it all died on me. But normally I leave it plugged in. It's on like a trickle charge. So I leave it plugged in the garage all the time. So when I go to it, it's always fully charged. My little one, I only charge up when I know I'm going to need it. I don't bother charging that one up, yeah. Oh, it's gorgeous. I agree, Tracy. It's beautiful. But I'm not a knitter, and I think a lot of the hand-dyed yarns do look nice and knitted. But yeah, I'm a fancy yarn petter. I really am, Mimi. I don't make anything with it. I just pet it. Take it out and look at it and think, what pretty, pretty colours, and then I put it back again. Hello, booming and banging. Who's coming home? No, it's next door. I worry because our cars are in the street at the minute. So whenever I hear a car starting up, I'm always, oh, it's not ours. Because we can't put it on the new driveway yet until it's absolutely finished. Can't put any weight on it yet. I'm all right with my scooter rolling over it, but they don't want any heavy weights over it until it's properly finished. I only buy expensive yarn every now and again. Whenever I go to one of these wool shows and that, I used to always treat myself. Last time I went, I didn't treat myself. I actually bought 2 of those Janie Crowfoot books, which I then gave away because I knew I'd never do them. But I had to buy something. I went to Woolfest one year and all I bought was a ewe ice cream, which was, like made from sheep milk, Ewe. I came away and everybody said, what did you buy at Woolfest? I said, I bought an ice cream. That's all I bought, an ice cream. It was nice ice cream. But when I went to the last one, the Yarndale, it's got to be charged every 2 weeks. Mine's on trickle charge all the time, yeah. Yeah, it's very sweet ice cream, actually, ewe ice cream, yeah. Oh, hello, Lydia. Oh, I love my fancy yarns. That's why I used to buy a lot from Ice Yarn, because they used to do some fantastic, I used to make those shawls, if you remember, the ones with different rows of different textures. Some would be eyelash, some would be bobbly. I used to make different rows of shawls. I sold all of them, except the last one, which I kept, which was a purple one. They sold really, really well, but of course, we're not ordering from Ice anymore. I used to buy like a big variety pack from Ice, where you had all different kinds of balls of eyelash yarn, wool with like bits of look like tissue paper hanging off it and stuff like that. No, my scooter's charged up. I use it a heck of a lot. It depends whether you're just poodling about or whether you're going miles. I mean, I go miles in my scooter. What happened to Ice? They started charging me too much for, the postage. It's still there. People still order. And people in America seem to get a much better deal. Yeah, it's the customs, it's the tax on it, it's the shipping. I told you I put £16 worth of wool in my basket from Ice Yarn, and by the time it got to pay for it, it was £42. And that was for what, about 8 balls of wool? I thought, no, sorry and all that, but I was after a ball of white chenille. I'll have to wait and see whether they've got one at the wool shop. I'm not paying £3 on postage for a ball of white chenille. It's only to trim my doll's clothes up with. So I'll just wait and see whether they've got any at my local wool shop when I go past it on Wednesday. I have got a ball, but it's got sparkle in it. You know, it's a bit too much, really. Be all right if I was making a Santa's hat or something, yeah. When Sue and I used to buy a lot of ice yarn, because I used to crochet and sell, you know, my garments to people, we inquired about, you know, whether we could get like discount if we ordered a vast amount between us. Oh, and the minimum order amount was really high. And they wanted us to be like a franchise. And like I said, well, I'm not. I'm just a crafter that crochets garments and sells them. And they just weren't interested. There were no discount, no nothing. You know, not even if you ordered. You know, like between us, we would have ordered quite a bit, but they didn't want to know. Yeah. I don't know. I've not even inquired into Hobby and Hobbium, how much their postage costs, but I would imagine it's similar. It's all because of this coming out of Brexit business and stuff. They put import duty on things now, and they put, you know, some kind of tax on it and something. I know there were 3 different things they put on my ice order. There was 2 things besides the postage. There was like 3 different payments. That's why it weren't wound up at £42. Was it Hobby or Hub? I think it's Hobby. You know, I bought lots and lots of the cotton from them. That was really, really nice, their cotton. I've still got lots of it in the shed, actually, which I won't part with. People have said to me, oh, are you going to put that on eBay? And I went, no, I'm not selling it for less than what I paid for it, because that's what I got with all the rest. All the ice yarn and stuff that I put on eBay, I didn't even get what I paid for it back off anybody. So I thought, no, I'll keep it. I don't know about Temu yarn. Most of the stuff I've ordered off Temu's not been much cop, so I don't think I'd want to order their wool. I mean, I did order some Chinese wool once off like eBay and that, and when it comes, it's all written in Chinese, so unless you can remember what you've ordered, you don't know whether you've ordered merino or what the hell you've ordered. And, you know, it doesn't tell you whether it's double knit, 4-ply or what it is, yeah. All right, night-night, Tracy. Hope you get some sleep tonight. I never have any trouble, me. I might have trouble nodding off, but I just put my fire stick on and I never even get to the end of a story because I go to sleep. Or I watch somebody's video, and I hate to tell, it wasn't you, Tracy, but one person I watch, and she isn't boring, but whenever I try to watch her, I go to sleep. She's very good for insomnia, and yet she's lovely, and when I watch her in the daytime, her videos are lovely. I can't really say to her, put you on when I want to go to sleep, can I? It's not very flattering to say to her that. So I might start off watching her video, drop asleep, and then I have to watch it the day after. I've not ordered anything much in the way of wool from anybody. I've got so much. I'm like trying to be on a yarn cull. I'm trying my best not to order anything. I've got so much, and with me not selling any garments at the minute, it's just like there, isn't it? And yet I just don't feel like selling it for less than what I paid for it, which is what they want me to do on eBay. I know it's money in the pocket for me, but it's still heartbreaking when you've paid £10 for some wool and you can't even get a fibre for it, you know. So I'm not going to sell it. Yeah, people always see that ice magic and they go, oh, are you selling that? Are you selling that? I'm going, no, no, I ain't selling that. I can't get it again, so I'm not selling it. And I don't think you'd pay me £4 something a ball for it anyway. You'd want me to sell it you for nothing or donate it to you. And if anybody else asks me to crochet a cat blanket, I think I'll swing. Tra-la-la-la-la-la. No, that's not the end. That's my little dress I'm making so far. It's nice yarn. I'm not saying anything against any of the yarns. You know, the ice yarn, hobium. It's just, at the moment, I'm trying not to order anything, and at the moment, I can't afford their It's not so much the postage. I don't know whether you get it the same in America. You don't seem to get as much as we get hammered for in the UK, because we've got import duties and all sorts of stuff. I don't know whether you'd get hammered as much, Jane, if you ordered it from America. I mean, they're cotton. I think it's Hobie cotton I've got. Is it Hobium? I think it's Hobie or Hobby. And the cotton is lovely, lovely and soft. It's very nice. Thankfully, I've got quite a bit of it, so I don't need to order anymore. Yeah. Your video keeps freezing. Sorry about that. Yeah, I've got so much of it. I've got more than I could ever crochet up in my lifetime, really. Yeah. Lulu, I know the feeling. I miss everybody in America's live videos. I try my best to watch people's videos in the daytime, but I'm either out in the daytime or, you're all in bed when I'm watching videos. So I very rarely. I think I caught one of Tracy's lives the other day, but I very rarely catch anybody's lives. I just don't manage it. It's just all the wrong timing for me because I'm in the UK. I'd have to stay up in the middle of the night half the time. I'd probably be the one snoring in the corner. Yeah, I miss your lives all the time, Jill, because they're always at the wrong time for me. I'm either not in when you're on, um, or I'm in bed. My son said today, you have a better social life than we do. I went, I only go to knit clubs. He said, well, at least you get out and about. But I make myself go out and about to knit clubs because when you're my age, making friends when you go to a new area is quite difficult, When you're younger, you've got other places that you can talk to people. If you've got young kiddies or if your kids are at school, you've got other people you can talk to. But when you're retired and you move to a different area, you don't know anyone, yeah. Well, you don't frustrate me, Jill, because I never managed to make it anyway. Yeah, I mean, the neighbours round here are not very neighbourly. I come from a street where everybody knew everybody, and everybody was very, very friendly. But I've been here nearly 3 years, and I don't know anybody. I just, nobody says hello or anything like that. I mean, people used to wave to me in the window when they walk past with their dog or walk past with the kiddies, and nobody does that here. I've tried waving to people with the dogs, and I just get a very strange look, like, oh, you, what are you doing waving at me, And the sun never shines on our front, so it's not as if you could get a bench and sit at the front. Well, nobody ever walks past here anyway, unless they're walking a dog. It's not that kind of street. Whereas my street was full of kiddies, and they used to walk backwards and forwards, obviously going to school, and the ones who didn't have kiddies had dogs, and there was always people going past the window all the time. I feel like I'm in no man's land here. I feel like I'm in the middle of the desert. And if you say hello to people, they just give you a funny look, you know. There's one lady, she rides past me every day on a bicycle. I'm on my scooter, she's on her bicycle. She's not a young woman. And every day I'll say, "Good morning" to her, and she just sticks her nose in the air and carries on pedalling. I'm like, be like that, be rude. I don't know, lockdown brought our street more together, actually. We started a WhatsApp group on our old street. And everybody spoke to each other through the WhatsApp, yeah. And I think that's when we actually got more friendly, was through WhatsApp. You know, because we couldn't go out. And we actually used to have street parties. I know it sounds strange, but somebody would have a street party and we'd all sit like the regulated distance apart, but we were all sitting having a chat, you know. All right, Jane, I'll see you next week. Bye-bye now. I mean, some people are all right. They'll say hello when they're going past with the dog on the seafront. But they don't chat. They don't stop and have a chat like I'm used to. I'm used to Manchester folk, and they're very, very friendly people, Manchester. They chat the hind leg off a donkey, you know, in Manchester. If you say hello to somebody, they'll stop and have a chat. You know, if you say nice day to somebody in Manchester, you're a friend for life. You're there for half an hour having a conversation. But here, if you say hello, they just go, oh, carry on peddling. They're just not very friendly around here, I've decided. I've had to go out my way to make friends. I've got some lovely friends, you know, through knit clubs and that. But if I hadn't got a knit club, I wouldn't know anybody. Wouldn't know anybody. I have more conversations with dogs than I do with any people. He was really disgusted, he said. My dog is an atheist. Yeah, some people. I talk to the dogs. The parents, you know, the owners don't always talk back, but I always talk to the dogs. I'm like the dog whisperer when I go out. I talk to the dogs to get more sense out of a dog. The dogs always come up and say hello, even if the owners don't. Just ignore me. I know lots of dogs' names. I don't know people's names, but I know lots of dogs' names. Because I meet them when I'm out and about, yeah. One little dog called Ruby, she's a poodle. She always wants to come and sit on my scooter. And a little chihuahua called Sonny, he does the same thing. He always comes up and sits on my scooter. Oh, I always smile. Yeah, you don't get smiles back. If I'm going past on my scooter, I slow down, and if they move like out of the way, I'll say, thank you very much. And sometimes you just get a frozen stare. And I always say thank you, and I always slow down when there's dogs about, children about. I always go really, really slowly past them. I think I told you one guy said to me, "You lot ought to stop at home where you belong." Nice. Hang on while I, get me broom and I'm like Cinderella, yeah. Is that where I should be? Chained to the kitchen sink? Is that where I should be? You lot make me sick, he said. You should stay at home where you belong. I slow down to a stop when I see a dog, and one bloke said to me the other day, "Don't come hurtling past my dog." He said you could run it over. And I'm like, I've stopped. You get loads of abuse, You shouldn't be on the pavement, you should be on the road. So you go on the road and the car driver said, "Get off the road, get out that effing way." Sweethearts, a lot of them. Right, little girl, are you going to have a long dress, or shall we make you into a mini? Well, it's not a mini, it's a knee length, isn't it? Shall I make her into a knee length? And make her some accessories? Because little girls like little bags and things, and hats and things, and shoes that go with everything. They like them as much as they like the dresses. Ah, thank you, Lulu. Have you missed me? I'm glad somebody does. I was having a rough week this week. I felt like, oh, God. I saw the doctor and he said, "Are you feeling suicidal?" I said, "Well, no, not that way." I said, "I'm just absolutely peed off. Peed off with the world, peed off with life. But I'm not suicidal. I wouldn't give anybody the pleasure." Oh, young men with phones in the hand are the worst. I slow down and I stop and they walk into me because they're that busy looking at the screen. And then they start shouting at me saying I should get out of the way. And I'm like, you've the one who's just walked into me. I've just stopped because I could see you weren't looking where you were going. So I've stopped and you still walked into me when I've stopped. Oh, they have their dogs on one of them great big extendable leads, and you never quite know where the dog's going to be, whether it's on that side or that side, because they've got no control because they're talking on the phone. And the dog's all over the shop. I mean, it's a wide promenade. There's plenty of room for everybody on it. But the dog will zigzag from one side to the other, and you don't know whether to go to the left of them, the right of them. Yeah. And eventually, out the corner of their eye, they'll go, "Oh, sorry," and then they drag the dog in. But they don't take any notice of the kids either. They're too busy talking on the phone, and the kids all over the place, and, practically committing Harry Carey swinging upside down on something. Have I seen Martin? No, who's Martin? There's a lot of people I haven't seen for a long, long time. I haven't seen Enid for years. Enid used to come on every week. I've not seen her for a long, long time. I don't know where she vanished to. Martin Willis? No, I don't know. I don't know her. Is it a her or a him? No, I've not seen. I don't know who that is, Sergio. There's a lot of people I only know by name or whatever. I don't particularly watch them. She comes in with cowboy hat. No. Are you sure she comes in here? I don't remember her. No, there's lots of people who I've not seen for a long time that used to come in regular. I just figure that, maybe they've got fed up with me and they don't want to come on anymore. Yeah, quite a lot of. I mean, none of the squirrels come on anymore. Never see them anymore. They used to come in and say hello. They never always used to stay, but they used to come in and say hello. I haven't seen any of the squirrels. I can't. When everybody goes out, I can't do my crocheting because Trixie wants to sit all over me. And she is so heavy. That dog is heavy for her size. She's all muscle. She's not fat at all. But she's solid. I mean, Gigi was a little star. I could crochet over the top of Gigi. He was so great, He used to like me to recline my chair, Gigi, and wear a skirt. And then he used to sit in between my legs like in a hammock. And I could crochet over the top of him. Little Gigi was a star. I mean, I've done videos with Gigi on my lap. Yeah, when I used to do a live, he used to climb up, didn't he, and go to sleep. And everybody used to say, oh, I used to have to push him to the camera to show him everybody. I miss that little boy. He was only 8 when he passed away. Yeah. I'm glad he passed away at home and not when he was with me, because I would have never forgiven myself. I know it wouldn't have been my fault. He just had a little heart attack and died. He was only 8. One minute he was playing and the next thing he died. I know he had a heart murmur, but, it didn't seem to bother him all that much. He did a lot of sleeping, but he was 8. I mean, they've got 2 more dogs now. They've got Lena and Bertie. Yeah. They've got 2 more chihuahuas, but they don't look anything like Gigi because they're long-haired chihuahuas. I was so glad he didn't pass away with me, though. I would have been heartbroken because I used to look after him in the holidays and that. When they went on holiday, I used to look after him. Can you imagine if he'd have passed away with me? I mean, it was bad enough when I had to put Buster to sleep, but I had no choice with Buster. I mean, he just couldn't move. His back legs just went, and that was it. And he was too big for me to pick up and move him and stuff. So the poor little sausage was just lay there, and he was just wetting himself because he couldn't move, and I couldn't lift him. And I thought, I can't go on like this. I mean, he was what? He was about 13 or 14. He had a good life. I mean, I felt dreadful when I had to call the vet to put him to sleep, but you just have to make that decision. When it's time, isn't it? And you have to just make that choice. I wish they lived longer, dogs. They don't live long enough. When we lost our puppy, oh my God. It was awful with our puppy because it was locked down and you couldn't go into the vets with them. You had to leave them at the door, and the nurse used to come out and take them in. And Poppy passed away on the operating table. So that was heartbreaking. We said goodbye to her thinking she was going to come back, and she just did. We just got our Rosie then to be a companion to Poppy, because we'd always had the 2 dogs. We'd had Poppy and we'd had Sky, the 2 Rottweilers. So when Sky died, we we only had Poppy. So we got Rosie to be a companion to Poppy, and then within weeks, Poppy died. So then we had Rosie on her own for quite some time, and then we finished up with my daughter-in-law went to see her friend, and her friend's dog had these French bulldog puppies, and she came home and one of them. So that's how come we got Trixie. It wasn't a conscious decision. All right, are you off now, Destiny? I'm not staying on long. It's nearly time for me to go. It's got to be sewn up yet, but I finished another little dress. I'll probably make I've got a little bit of wool left, so I'll probably make her a little handbag and a little hat and something else to go with it. So we'll see. I mean, not all the dolls are going to be dressed. Some will be just dresses on their own, you know. Just hoping that, you know, some little kiddie will buy them. I'm going to do some different sizes. I'm just dressing these Barbie Cindy look-alike dolls. They're not the actual. I have actually got one that is a real Barbie. I have got one real Barbie somewhere. Don't know where she's gone now, but I have got one. She doesn't look a whole lot different than all these others. I've got a real Barbie. There she is. I don't know what the little girl who had her before did to her hair, but I got a real Barbie. But watch what Barbie does. She's swimming Barbie. So, I mean, there's not a whole lot of difference between her and this one. Oh, this one's slightly bigger, isn't she? So I'm sure that dress will fit a little Barbie doll. That's swimming Barbie, but like I said, I don't know what the child's done to that hair. If I was to sell that on, I'd have to do something with his hair. Look at that hairstyle. It had a great big bow thing fastened in it. I think the little girl's probably brushed it or done something with it or put it in the water or done something with its hair still. So I can't sell her looking like that. Oh, she's still swimming. But she is a real Barbie. She's an actual Barbie. She's the only one I've got that's actually Barbie. The others are all look-alike. I mean, Barbie dolls have gone up so much in price. I mean, I don't know what these are. They're just, beg your pardon, she's showing her boo-boos off. You know, she's just a imitation Barbie, whatever she's called. I have got some other ones. I think they're Bratz. Where have they gone? They're Bratz dolls. I think they're quite cute. Where have they gone? Oh, no, that's a Barbie doll. Imitation Barbie. Where's the Bratz gone? I think these are them. They've got big feet. I think these are actually Bratz or something, these. Look at the size of the feet. Huge feet. They've all got massive long hair. I think little girls must like little long hair. I think these were Bratz or something. Because they've got different faces, haven't they? Big eyes printed on. But the rest of them I've got are just any old doll. Cover her boobies up. I don't know what she is. She's another one. But look, get the long hair. I'll have to try and brush it or put a bow on it or something. You'd never sell them like that. I think one of them's a skipper or something. It's only a little thing. That's a little thing. I think it's a pseudo skipper. You like Monster High dolls? I don't think I've seen them. I don't think I want one of them. Sue likes those Cabbage Patch dolls. I think they're the ugliest doll I've ever seen in my life. Those Cabbage Patch things. Oh, I could use up that with that, couldn't I? Got the pink in it. I'm only using scrappy bits of wool up, so it's not costing me anything. So if I only sell them for peanuts, it's not costing me anything. So long as, if I'm selling the doll, obviously I would want the price back that I'd paid for the doll. But apart from that, the little clothes are not costing me anything to make. So I'm just hoping some little girl will come past and say, you buy me that one, Mummy? I've got a lovely doll in the shed, but she's like a pseudo-American American girl doll, but I don't think they're as popular in the UK. But I have got some patterns for like tiny tears and that. I don't know whether they're still popular or not. Yeah. No, I'm out of the loop. I only had a boy. The only thing I knew was Action Man and Steve Austin, is it called? You know, the $6 million man. We had them where you could look through his eye. Yeah, we had a Steve Austin and we had my nieces had Barbie and Ken. Yeah, and I think they had Cindy as well. I'm not too sure about that. I know I made tons of clothes for them when they were young. But Arian, he played with Action Man for quite a while. Yeah, but then he got fed up with him, like kids do. They go on to different things. Started riding his bike, and he preferred to, ride a chopper bike than play with an Action Man. I think he only played with Action Man when it was raining hard and he couldn't go out anywhere. I used to go in the house and there was like, he'd find me bits of wool and he'd have like wool going all the way across the room. It was like a zip wire. Because I think it was that $6 million man, you could move his hand like that. So he used to be like on a zip wire down a bit of wool. It'd be like a spider's web around the house. He'd have it tacked up places. And he'd be going, don't, Mum, watch where you're walking. Steve Austin's coming down on his... Sorry. Of course, we'd all have to move them all before his dad come home. I used to have a teenage doll when I was a girl, but of course, they were only pseudo-teenage dolls. They weren't Barbies or Cindy's or anything like that. They came well after me. I don't know when they came out. I would imagine the 60s. But I know it was well after. The dolls I had when I was a kid were just dolls. They didn't have names. They weren't, they weren't like Tiny Tears or whatever they're called, yeah. But that American Girl doll, I think they were only popular in America. I don't think they made it over here. I know I had like a doll that looked like Princess Anne once when I was little. And my auntie made me a load of little clothes. It was when Princess Anne had been born. They made all these sewing patterns that looked like what she used to wear, these like princess style coats and that. And my auntie made me a load of them. Then I had another auntie who made me all like a full layette for a baby doll I had. She had, a shawl and dress and coat, bonnet, booties, mittens. My mum used to really annoy me. She used to call them doll rags, shiffy doll rags. And I said, they're not doll rags, they're my dolly's clothes. I've still got the knitting patterns. I need to go in the shed. Did they have royal paper dolls? I don't know whether they did or not. I used to love those paper dolls. You know, the ones with cardboard and you cut out the dresses with little tags and dress them up. I used to get them every time I went to Rochdale or Oldham with my auntie. She used to buy me a book and you had to cut the little dresses out. My dad used to go mad because I used to make him cut them all out for me. No, I've still got the Barbie patterns in the shed. I need to find them when I get to sort out my patterns. I tried to look for them the other day, but I got fed up because my back was hurting, and they're in a great big tub. I've got all my patterns in a massive, massive big tub like that, and it was too heavy for me to lift on the table. And by the time I'd bent over, looked through a few of them, my back was going, "Stop it! Stop it! Stop it!" So I never got to the doll patterns. I had to stop and come in. So that's why I'm doing them off my head, because I can't find them. Well, I have to go in the shed. I'm going in the shed tomorrow, if it's not too rainy, to find those boxes so I can start emptying these cupboards in here. So maybe, if my back's not twinging too much, maybe I will actually find the Barbie patterns. Maybe. Or they might be Cindy patterns. I don't know the difference. I think Cindy had a wider waist, didn't she, than Barbie? Barbie was the one with the big knockers and yeah. Cindy was more just ordinary curves, yeah. I had loads of paper dolls, and I used to design my own clothes for the dolls, crayon them and paint them in and make the little tags on them. We used to draw around the doll and design. My mother used to always say, well, they'd only be tiny. My mother would always say, she's going to be a fashion designer, our Janet, when she grows up. I am, in a way, sort of. I design my own cardigans and stuff, but not sewing. I'm not exactly. Do you ever make dolls out of those wooden pegs? I don't mean the spring pegs. You know, the old pegs that the gypsies used to sell? They had like a little round blob on the end, and then they were like two legs coming down. I used to get pipe cleaners and wind them round the neck to make little arms. And I used to make clothes for the peg. And then when my mother was washing day, I'd go mad with her because she'd be stripping all these little dresses off her pegs. Yeah. Hello, Gloria. You're crocheting a baby blanket. Oh, I wish you joy. I can do baby blankets. I can't do anything any bigger. I made myself a blanket for my scooter, but it's I would have to put it over my knees and that, and not leave it anywhere, because I think somebody would walk off with it if I left it folded up and it might get wet. And it's a bit too big to go into my back suitcasey bit thing. So I don't tend to use that, yeah. I've got a great big, like a motorcycle cape thing that fits over your knees. It's like fleecy on the inside and waterproof on the outside. I can put that over my knees when it's cold weather. It fastens around me like a big apron. And somewhere I've got one of those for a wheelchair. You put your feet right in and you zip it up. Somewhere in the garage I've got that. That was when I used to have my scooter that didn't have a top on, and I had to protect me. And I've got a great big purple cape that goes, it's like a galleon in full sail when I used to put that on. But I won't get rid of them in case something ever happens and I have to get an ordinary scooter instead of the great one with the top on. But I'm so used to the one with the top on now. I don't think I'd like to go back to being blasted in the face again by the wind. Surprisingly enough, it's not got sides in. Barbie came 59.60. That's why I don't know it, you see, because I was 45, aren't I? I would have been, what, 15 in 1960, yeah. So, yeah, I would have been a bit too old for a Barbie doll then. At 15, I was too busy looking at boys, I think. Looking at boys and doing my homework. Not that I got much time to look at boys, really, but in between my homework, I would be looking at boys. Not going out with any of them. I was never the pretty one. I was always the also-ran. My friend was very pretty, and she used to attract all the boys, and I used to get the spotty friend, yeah. I think my nieces had Barbie and Ken. I don't think they had Midge or Skipper, yeah. Now I've got a lot of these. I bought them all. I bought them all on eBay. But as you can see, all the dolls, the dresses are all ripped. The hairs are all a mess, and the dresses are all ripped up. So whoever made these dresses, they look a bit homemade actually, these dresses, but whoever made them, the little girls have ripped all the Velcro or whatever it was that was on the back. So they've got evening dresses, but I can't really repair them. I'm not having any crisps or chocolate because I'm supposed to be on insulin, which I don't want to take, Jill. I had a row with my diabetes. Well, not my diabetes nurse, the diabetes nurse that I saw. Because she said my blood sugars were 11 point something. And I had them taken at the chemist and they were 8.5. And then this morning they're 6.5. So my daughter-in-law, who is a nurse, said, no, don't take the insulin. If it's 6.5, your blood sugar, do not take the insulin. So I've complained about my diabetes nurse because she was horrible. So I don't know what's going to happen next. Somebody's going to phone me apparently to see why I'm not doing what I'm told. So anyway, they repeated my HB1C blood test results to see whether or not she was right. And she said, your blood sugars are rubbish, she said, and you've put on too much weight. I put a 4 pound on. See what I mean about the hairstyles? I don't know what this little girl's done. But this one's got a very strange outfit on, hasn't it? But once again, it's all ripped up the back. Yeah. So I don't know where she got these little dolls from, but I mean, you can't use those dresses. They're just torn. They've got bits of Velcro, and I think they've been handmade. I think somebody's made them. I don't think anybody's bought them because they're all coming apart. Look, they're all ripped. So, oh, it's a separate skirt, I see, but it's still ripped. I mean, it's very pretty, isn't it? It's a shame it's torn. But, yeah, I was so upset. I was crying in the doctors, and they made me see the GP. I think they thought couldn't stop crying. I don't know. I'd just come back from the dentist, and that didn't help because I'd had a row with him. So, oh, look, it's only half made, isn't it? Yeah, I'm sure this has been handmade. It's very tatty, whatever it is. But look at her hair. I mean, what can I do with that? So I wasn't in a good mood. Anyway, the doctors agreed with me and said she shouldn't have spoken to me like that. And he agreed that I had my blood things done there, and it was 8.5 that day, but then I'd eaten. So he said that wasn't too high because I'd had my breakfast and my lunch. And my fasting one this morning was 6.5. That's without the insulin. So my daughter-in-law said, nope. If you have insulin with a 6.5, you'd probably go too low. Yeah. Yeah, I think she was trained at Timu, I think. Did anybody watch that program though that was on Channel 5 that was about that that injection that I have once a week that I couldn't get, that they're prescribing now for weight loss? Did anybody watch it? This reporter went to 3 different private clinics. She got charged £160 for a consultation. Nobody asked her weight. Nobody took her BMI, and she could have got prescriptions from all 3 clinics. And they were saying that it's no use you taking that drug on its own. It's got to be taken as part of a weight loss program, which includes exercise and diet. And if people are just injecting themselves, like every week and losing loads and loads of weight, the minute they stop taking it, it will all pile on. And then I read that Sharon Osbourne has been taking it and she looks like a skeleton. Have you seen her? And she's gone so thin now that she's ill and she can't put the weight back on. And she said she wished she'd never took that injection in the first place. So all these people who are paying £60 a jab and jabbing themselves with it are all asking for problems. Have you seen the status, Sharon Osbourne? She looks dreadful. She looks like something from Belson. All her cheeks are sunken. She just doesn't look right at all. She looks really, really ill. She's like one of these, you know, them TikTokers that do the anorexic, yeah? She looks like one of them. And she admits that she's ruined herself through doing that jab. Yeah, they were interviewing people. Did you see it? Yeah, they were losing 3 stone, and some people were losing 2 and 3 pounds. And I'm thinking, you can lose that on an ordinary diet. I mean, look at Denise Deer. She's lost loads of weight going to Slimming World. She's not jabbed herself with anything. I was only using the jab once a week for my diabetes. I wasn't using it for weight loss. It was on Channel 5. It was a program about, you know, they were just highlighting that. And some people had got this stuff off the black market. They'd ordered it off the internet. And she took it and got them to analyse it. And God knows what was in it. It wasn't what you were supposed to be injecting yourself with. So it's like, you know, what on earth? People are sticking all sorts in them rather than diet, you know. It's not a quick fix like people think it is. It's just, I mean, for goodness sake, Sharon Osbourne's had a gastric bypass and a gastric sleeve. She should be slim anyway without using that drug. And Vanessa Phelps, she's the same. Oh, if I'd have known there was this drug, I wouldn't have bothered dieting if I could have just injected myself. Yet the side effects are extreme nausea and you can get diarrhea. Oh, I can put weight on if I want to. That's why I'm not eating any chocolate or not eating any crisps tonight. I've had fish. Well, I had about 2 chips. I had fish and peas for my tea. But before that, what did I? Oh, I had a bacon sandwich this morning for my breakfast. I had nothing at all for lunch, nothing at all. And I've had nothing at all since then. Doesn't she look awful? Sharon Osbourne. I mean, everybody's saying she looks awful. And she said she's done it to herself and she knows she has. No matter how much she eats now, she just feels sick all the time. Well, they will do it. It's only licensed, allegedly, for very, very obese people. And it's only part of a controlled diet under a dietitian. It's not meant to be like they're doing it, just jabbing themselves because they want to lose a few pounds. It's not meant for that at all. Wish I could lose 35 pounds. I keep putting £4 on, taking it off. Putting £4 on, taking it off. So when she greeted me with, and you've put a load of weight on, I'm like, no, I haven't. I know household scales are not always accurate, but they are accurate in the fact that no matter what they weigh, you know if you've put £4 on or you've took £4 off. They might not be accurate in the scheme of things. They might be out, but they're not that out that they don't tell you how much you've put on or how much you've lost. I mean, she weighed me, and she weighed me at £7 more than my bathroom scales were weighing me at. And I thought, I don't think my bathroom scales are £7 out. You know, I should get a bag of sugar or something or whatever and put it on the scale and find out if it's accurate, shouldn't I? I said to her, I've got all my clothes on. I said, I've got my big boots on. And she still weighed me like it. She said I was this £12 or something when I'm only saying I'm £5. Whatever. And she said, you put a load of weight on. I said, I've lost about, 3.5 stone? I don't know what that is in pounds. I said, I've lost 3.5 stone. I don't think that's putting a lot of weight on. But she just wasn't listening to me. She wouldn't listen to me at all. And I said to her, well, it's because I didn't get me injections like for 3 months. And she goes, well, obviously they're not working, are they? I thought, oh, yours. She's probably took them off me my prescription. I'll have to have words with somebody when somebody's going to ring me. I've cancelled my appointment with her. I said I don't want to. She was supposed to be ringing me on Monday. I said I don't want her ringing me. Tell her not to ring me. I don't want her to ring me. Don't want to speak to her. The receptionist said, well, just speak to her and explain. I said, no, I'm not even talking to her. I don't want to talk to her anymore. When somebody treats you like you're 3 years old and you're stupid, you don't really want to talk to them again, do you? You know. Everything I said, she was putting me down all the time, putting me down. I mean, I hadn't even took my coat off. As I walked through the door, she went, well, your levels are rubbish, aren't they? She said, what you been doing? And I went, I beg your pardon. It was a nurse, a diabetic nurse. And then I'm taking my coat off. She says, and you've put on loads of weight. I said, I haven't. She says, you have. Then she says, right, it's insulin for you. I went, no, I don't want it. She went, it's not a question of whether you want it or not. She said, it's insulin for you. She says, do you want to die with a stroke? She said, do you want to? And I'm thinking, yeah, oh, I've got an advert running. I was telling her the doctor, and the doctor said, if she'd have spoken to my mother like that, he said, I would have been in there telling her what for. You don't speak to people like that. You don't greet people as they walk through the door saying, what are you doing? Your levels are rubbish. I'm like, hang on, can I get in, please? And I said, I've got Raynaud's. I said, I can't, if I stab my finger ends, I said, they'll be sore. I said, and I craft all day long. I said, that's what keeps me sane is, you know, my mental health and that. I said, it keeps me sane when I crochet and knit. And if I keep stabbing all my finger ends, I said, they don't heal. And they're going to be sore because I've got Raynaud's. And she goes, anybody can stab the finger. And she went, boom, on my finger. And she nearly put the needle right through the other side. She goes, there you go. And she went, got this blood. Well, when I went to the chemist, you know, to try to get my blood sugars done, like, it took them forever to get even a drop of blood out of me. They were like, trying to get a drop of blood out of me. Okay, Val, I'll see you on Wednesday, all being well, because I'll still have my tooth on Wednesday. I'm having it out on Thursday. Yeah, she wasn't. I mean, I've been to see the other diabetic nurses, and they are different. They'll say, your levels are a bit high, Jan. What have you been doing? Have you been eating chocolate? Have you been eating this? You know, not greet you with something like that as you walk through the door, you know. Anyway, I've complained about her, complained to the practice and said I didn't like her. And it's not Eric, it's Val. She just goes under the pseudonym of her husband. Oh, dear. Oh, Nana, you're coming on just as I'm going off. How old was she? I would put her about in her 40s, somewhere along the line. You know, one of them skinny minis that looks a bit anorexic. One of them she was. She probably thinks anybody over that big is overweight, yeah. Right, I'm going to go, people. I'm going to go to bed. And I'm not doing my insulin. I'm not doing it. If my levels were 6.5 this morning, I think that's pretty level, don't you? I didn't do it last night either. Don't tell me diabetic nurse. I didn't stab myself last night, and I have no intention of stabbing myself tonight. I'll stab myself in the morning and see whether or not I've put my blood sugars up. But I've not had any chocolate. I've not had any sweeties. Not had anything naughty at all today. Yeah, I'm going to go to bed. I'm going to rinse my flask out. That's why I only had coffee tonight. Yeah, I'm not jabbing myself with my insulin. I might go the other way. If I was 6.5, which I looked it up on the internet, it said that's pre-diabetic, not diabetic. So if I start jabbing myself with insulin, I could go the other way. I could have a hypo and go low in the night. I don't want that. I've not got Shad tonight telling me to look at my necklace, have I? All little wooden circles, little wooden circles. I missed Shad. This is me. It's got a magnet in the back, and it's got a heat thing. Well, it's got 3 magnets in, I think. Yes, one of the magnets is migrated, yeah. Well, my other diabetic nurses, they're not fat, but they're padded, let's just say. I don't know why I got her. And she'd made me another appointment to see her next month, and I cancelled it. So I don't want to see her. So book me in with another nurse. So they're going to get one of the other nurses to ring me up. So I'll see what happens when they ring me up. And on Monday, I've got them ringing me up from the eye clinic to see whether or not, I don't know what they'll do. Yeah, it just keeps my neck warm because I get terrible neck pain. It's my old arthritis again, you know. When you're getting old, you get these things, don't you? You get old, you get knackered. They don't tell you that bit. Right, everybody, Lulu, Nathan, Lydia, Mimi, Lizzie, Jill, Nathan, whoever else I've missed. Good night all, and I shall see you all very soon. And you might actually get some videos this week because there's no workmen outside with the cement mixers and the radios and singing and everything like that, which I couldn't do a video yet. Okie dokie. Bye for now, everybody. Bye-bye.